right, yo, what up, what up? It's the All Grind Sports Show, and we're back once again. Um, as you can see, our big dog Dubre is finally back. We got the original crew. I go by the name of JC, and I got my other big dog, Isaiah Anthony. I know it seems
Know what
like
it is? Fuck Eminem. I gotta do that every time. Almost forgot last episode. So yeah, fuck Eminem. He's trash, garbage. So yeah,
Eminem. They just reported Eminem did something great for 50 Cent. Like he made.
he didn't do shit. Get out of here. Fuck out of here. He didn't do shit.
I know what you're talking about, JC. Don't even get into it. That's just.
First of all, you can't say Eminem didn't do spit when he gave that man. You know what I'm saying? He gave us Eminem gave us 50 Cent. Point blank period. Like you can't take that away, man. You being a 90s baby, you know at that time there was nothing bigger than.
All right, the NBA playoffs. No more.
I'm just saying. He kind of going too far sometimes. That's all.
I told you it's gonna happen every single time I did slandering.
Thank y'all for
like Dubre said, let's get to the playoffs. Let's roll.
Yeah, hold up real quick. Thank y'all for tuning in. As I said on the last show, we're officially on all directories. So Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, you can catch us there now. Just type in All Grind Sports. We're still on YouTube as well. Just type in All Grind Sports. And that being said, man, we can get to the splits. This is our official playoff preview. I know there's a few games that took place this weekend, but we're gonna get it in now because the play-in playoff turnaround was so damn quick. Like we didn't really have a chance, and this is our second episode this week. So we'll start with one of the boring ones. I'm gonna say boring because Mavericks won last night, but Dallas and Utah with no Luka, and it's 1-1 right now. What's y'all thoughts on that? Who y'all got in that series?
I was ready to pick the Jazz before Luka got hurt. I didn't hear what you said.
I said you had Jazz in 3.
No, I thought it was going to be a long series with Luka healthy. It probably still will be. Who knows? I don't know if he's come back or whatever. Neither team looks that good to me. Neither team looks good to me, but we'll see.
Yeah, I know me and you, we did like official brackets. I don't know if Isaiah did, but
who'd you pick?
Well, I mean, with Luka and mine, I think I had Utah in 6 because Luka always gets a couple games.
Yeah.
So I think that was what I had. If I honestly don't think Luka should come back, but even if he does, I think my pick is still probably be in order. They might be able to steal another one.
Yeah, I'm like you. I just checked. I picked the Jazz in 6.
Probably going to be one of my favorite series right here. Isaiah, who'd you have in that series? My bad.
I probably had the Jazz, especially with Luka getting hurt. Unless Jalen Brunson just keeps going off.
He's not going to score 40 every game.
That's what I'm saying. Unless that just keeps on happening, I don't really see them.
If Luka was healthy, would you have picked the Mavs?
Maybe, but I would probably still said Jazz in like 6 or 7.
I just thought the Jazz. Everyone was shitting on the Jazz at this point. I was just like, man, they're kind of like proven like. Jason Kidd hasn't been that good in the playoffs. I was just like, Luka's been good, but I don't know. I just kind of thought the Jazz were going to get this one and then lose in the next round to Golden State by like
exactly.
Yeah,
it's just Mavs don't have enough firepower.
They're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. I don't know if we can put some of it to his style of play. I think maybe he might need like remember Curry had like the Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr transition where the ball started moving more and they weren't just doing like the ISO thing damn near every play. I think he needs to be in an offense like that, but then it's like at this point, would he, is he willing to be in an offense like that, or does he want to keep ball dominating and getting his crazy numbers every game? That's yet to be seen.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like every coach that's coached him has been like the best way to win is just give him the ball every time. Like, he's been that sort of, hardened like peak Rocket style. Just like he's gonna be our offense because he'll make the best decision for our team. And I don't know if that's a Luka. I mean, it seems like a Luka thing, but I don't know if he's like pushy about it or if it's just coaches are just like, take it, go. I don't know.
Give me some wins.
Yeah, because it just with the Mavs, it's like who else have they surround him with that can really do what he does? You know what I'm saying? It seems like they've tried to somewhat get him 3-and-D players, but they're not really that great. Like we were saying earlier, Prime Clay was the prototypical 3-and-D guy. Like he's exactly who you would want. They haven't really given his Clay Thompson. So.
Well, the Mavs be getting 3 or D player guys. That's what they do. They do 3 or D.
You ain't never lied.
They always have to have like we have a Finney Smith or we have like Tim Hardaway. Like, it's never both.
I still can't believe that man got 70. Like, I don't know how to the same team that got rid of him the first time. Like, how?
Average around 20 a game.
Everybody does that these days, though, it seems like.
Yeah, but he got it like when the cap first bumped up, and it was a timing thing. Just guys get paid. Look at Tobias Harris. He just quietly averaging 19, being paid like one of the best players in the world every year. Like
$30 million.
Clippers
Tobias Harris has never made an all-star team and like is making as much money as anybody. Like,
I never realized that. That's crazy. Wow. Because I think we were looking at him when he was back when he was on Milwaukee. Like we felt at some point he probably would. Like, he had that type of potential.
I thought the only chance he had was that random that Clippers season whenever they overachieved and like Doc had him cooking like 22 points a game or something. Like he didn't make it that year, and he's not that dynamic of a guy. Like that's as good as he can be.
I hate the Clippers, but I love that little season they had with Lou and Nari and Shy, and like the way they meshed that together and got at 8 seed when nobody had them making playoffs. I like that little dynamic they had.
Oh yeah, that was a fun, feisty team. Yeah, I mean, because but it's similar. It's exactly what the Nets did on the other side. Like they were each the weird small market team from like the Knicks or the Lakers. They each did really well making these little scrappy playoff teams. Then as soon as they built this good character out, this deep team, they're like, all right, let's get the superstars. Like, let's get the superstars. We get KD and Kyrie in there. They trade all their young players for that. And then on the other side, the Clippers traded the whole thing for, Paul George and Kawhi.
Yep. One of my, this is probably going to be my second favorite series of the playoffs, the Timberwolves and Grizzlies, who actually play today. That looks like that's going to be a lot more of a fire series than I gave it credit for. I think that's going. I think I had Memphis in 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if that goes to 7, and I wouldn't object to that. I would love to see that. So yeah, I got Memphis in 6. I don't think tonight is a must win like everybody's saying, but they are in trouble though if they drop tonight. So I got Memphis in 6. Who y'all got?
Yeah, I was basic. I picked Memphis in 6. That was before even the first game. Just that was a kind of a popular pick, I think, and we'll see if they do it. I hope it goes 7. I hope every series goes 7 and goes into triple overtime. But the first game was fun for sure. We'll see tonight.
Yeah.
I still got Grizzlies in 6.
Yeah. When I was looking at it, I actually had the Grizzlies in about 5. They just played really well this season. I'm saying they played really well this season. I thought like that first game kind of shocked me, because at the play-in game, Cat played complete garbage. So I mean, hey, like you said,
happen twice in a row, though, right?
It definitely can. We saw.
It made sense that he bounced back. Like it was that embarrassing, and they survived it. So he's like, "Well, I'm in playoff mode." But also like he's in playoff mode already. He's getting to bounce back. The Grizzlies, they haven't done it yet. Like they're just like they're not revved up, and the Timberwolves are already like rolling. So Anthony Edwards came to play. I'll tell you what.
That boy came to play. I was just going to say that. Anthony Edwards put on a show in that game 1. So like you said, we need to give the Timberwolves a bit more credit. They look like they came to play. Memphis needs to step up because, like you said, if they lose tonight, they are in trouble.
Hey Isaiah, remember I was telling you that was one of my biggest curiosities of seeing Edwards in the playoffs, and he playing like it's not even playoffs. Like he don't even feel that that's
the opposite. JC, he's playing like it is the playoffs, and he's been waiting for this. That's what he's like.
He's honestly been one of my favorite young players just off the swagger that he has about himself. Like he knows he's that guy. He wants to be that guy. And he showed in game 1. I came here to be that guy. So put it on me. Let's do it. Let's rock and roll.
If somebody made a joke in our sports chat where they was like a cat getting carried by a great wing guard again. What else is new? So it looks like that's his trajectory.
Yeah, he had to replace Jimmy on the court and needed something totally different off the court. And Edwards is way different than Jimmy Butler. And Anthony Edwards makes everyone feel good. Anthony Edwards makes everyone in his locker room feel good and believe and have fun.
Right. Then we got Philly and the Raptors. I didn't think it was going to be I think I might have had Philly in 5, but I thought the games were going to be like more competitive than that thus far.
I picked Philly in 5. I think odds wise, this was like the closest series other than what else other than the Celtics Nets. This was considered the closest in odds. And I was shocked because I was just like, I get that Toronto was great in the second half of the year and they were scrapping to like get out of the play-in, and they did. They got all the way, to the 5th seed or whatever they are. But like, I picked the Sixers in 5, and I didn't see them have any answer for Embiid. Granted, we'll see. They could still bounce back, but it looks good so far.
Maxi's been the one that's been effing them up that they didn't expect. Like,
well, he's been good all year. I mean, because the thing was, everyone said it was like a bad matchup because they have all these buys to throw at Harden, and I'm like, the Sixers are gonna be fine. Like, Tobias been good too. Say what you want about Tobias, been steady.
Tobias has stepped up.
Yeah. Let me say a little bit something about the role players out there in Philly. They have been playing much better than the role players in Denver. Like I had said from the get-go.
I can't argue with that at all.
Well, hold on. Like, I mean, Tyrese Maxey just averaged, like, Tyrese Maxey would be Jokic's best teammate. Like, like straight up. Like,
I mean, Maxey wasn't doing anything near this season.
He averaged 18 a game, JC.
He had damn near 40 and 30 last night.
Okay, Will Barton. Hold on. Go back to the Nuggets. Will Barton was the second leader in minutes on the Nuggets, and he averaged 15. So believe me, Maxey would have been the second best player on the Nuggets. That's how stranded Jokic is with those guys. He has Monta Morris and Barton starting. Like, what are we talking about? Embiid, the Sixers are an actual contender. The Sixers are an actual contender. The Sixers are a contender. The Nuggets are trash. The Nuggets shouldn't even be in the playoffs.
That's not fair.
Yeah,
just with Jokic is the reason. Just Jokic.
You're telling me without the season that Jokic had, that team would have made the playoffs.
You could say that. Damn, insert any superstar here. What do you mean?
No.
You can say that.
Look at the Clippers. Look at the Clippers.
Exactly. Clippers still made the playoffs without Paul George for damn near 90% of the season.
Well, no, Kawhi the entire season, and then Paul George.
Kawhi the entire season.
I think the Lakers catastrophe is what got the Clippers in there.
No.
If we would have been doing what we were supposed to do, that probably wouldn't even, what I'm saying?
That doesn't even make sense because the Clippers were like the 8th seed and you weren't even a top. Like, what are you talking about? You couldn't even beat the Spurs.
Okay. How about this?
The Pelicans didn't have Zion play a second. And you couldn't beat
them. CJ, he got into the playoffs. And you called him a role player.
No Zion. He did it without Zion. No Zion. And a lot of missing Brandon Ingram.
Zion. But how many games has he played? Nobody cares.
When he did play, they made the playoffs. He played one season and he played like 65 games and he averaged 27 on 60.
Like Zion was like this superstar that's been carrying his team to the playoffs every year. Like nobody.
Well, he did it once. But by the way, he also averaged the highest points per game.
He did what?
Brought a team to the playoffs.
Zion?
Yeah.
When?
They were feisty. They were like a playoff team to me. How many games did they win? Well, that was after they finally Stan.
Remember, I just know I won.
They were good as soon as they got rid of Stan Van Gundy. They were good. They were like
they won. I was on the Morant over Zion trade, and I won that by a landslide. So
well, you need to relax because that is far from over.
By a landslide.
That's ridiculous to say, but I was also a jaw guy.
Calling Morant a superstar right now.
I was also a jaw guy. You're still underestimating that.
On the layoff on the New Orleans seafood.
No, you're just underestimating the fact that
bro, he averaged 27 on 61%. That
is the highest percent that's ever happened at 27%. Did you hear that, JC? JC, put your shit on mute. Put your shit on mute right now, JC. Mute your shit. Mute your shit. Mute your shit. Mute your shit.
You are the guy who always says what? Best availability is the best ability. Best ability is available. That's your favorite line. You sitting here, Captain. Man, get the F out of here, Isaiah.
But you're saying he doesn't really have that superstar ability when he obviously does. To average 27 on 61% is insane.
JC, put yourself on mute. JC, put yourself on mute.
How can you say he's not on Morant's level when he's shown that he can play at that level? Don't get me wrong.
He has made the playoffs twice. Morant is likely to get MIP right now and probably going to get an MVP at some point in his career. And he's taking a Grizzlies team that nobody had doing this good, and they've been overachieving.
We're talking about as individuals right now.
Hold on.
I didn't have
JC
started.
JC, what the Grizzlies have a better record without Ja than with him. Straight up. Okay. So you're
listen, I don't like Ja because he's taking minutes from DeAnthony Melton. I
didn't say Ja. I didn't say Ja. I said Brooks.
Yeah, I know what you said.
I just said nothing about
anyway, like I said, I'm a Ja man, but you're not giving Zion the credit because, again, no one has ever done what he did. 27 on 61%. Shaq never did that. No one has ever.
Sample size, yeah, okay.
It's a season. A season is a season.
60 plus games.
You know how many times you can lead the league in scoring? It takes a season. It takes a season, bro. That's how
his career, yeah.
What are you talking about? Like Kobe averaged 35 a game a season. You care about that, right?
He played 61 games that season when he averaged 27 on 61.
I thought it was 50
No,
something.
that's why it counts if it's over 58. That's like the threshold or whatever, and he played 60 something.
Yeah, enough of this bum though. We talking about playoff players.
Yeah, Pelicans.
We could talk about your guys. Golden State and Denver. Golden State in 2. That was my pick when the series started.
Looks good so far.
I mean, anytime, as soon as Jokic goes off the court, they just go to shit. Like, holy fuck, he can't even sit down for more than 30 seconds or it's over. It's a wrap. And then the refs have been just iffy the whole 2 games that I saw. Like, they're not giving certain calls to Jokic that they're giving to other players.
Playoff basketball.
But if you're gonna hold on, how are you giving those calls to the other side but not giving them to Jokic?
No, that's how it goes. I think Harden
that's how it goes.
Harden has always struggled in the playoffs because of that, because he don't get the same tic-tac calls. Everybody was praising the Brooklyn and Nets game because they were letting them play. That's playoff basketball.
My point is, if you're calling those same calls on the other side of the floor during the same game, you need to give him the same exact calls. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not talking about when they're not giving Harden the regular, like when they're on both sides not calling it. Like if you're gonna call it on one side, call it on the other side. Just period. And another thing, Aaron Gordon is fucking garbage. Oh my gosh. Like, holy shit. What I saw last night was just
I didn't realize how bad he's gotten, man. Like I used to be rooting for Gordon back in the day when he was around.
Bro, oh my gosh. Like it is bad, bro. It is so bad.
You think maybe he was only doing what he was doing because he was on Orlando and there was nobody else there?
Yes. Right now, that's exactly what it looks like.
He wasn't doing that much in Orlando is a big point too. Like it wasn't that much.
It was better than this.
He would have like he would go crazy one game and get like 30 and 12 or something like that, and then the next game he'll have like 8 and 5. Like,
but like that was even like not his most recent stuff. Like he only like really was doing that like a really bad year in Orlando. Like the most recent ones, his minutes and numbers had gone down because they had drafted like other front court players, and he wasn't standing out. Like he's fine. He's a nice player, and we all wanted way more of him because he was great in the dunk contest. He seemed like a nice guy. But man, like Jokic could use a Tobias Harris right now. Like, my God, just like a guy that can hit shots or just like score more than 15 points a game.
And it's literally set up for Gordon right now to like step up and be that guy. Like,
he's got shots to take if he wants to.
Make your name right now. Get your 90 million that you just got and go out there and MPJ not there, Murray ain't there. Like, there's nobody else there. To like stop you right now. You're getting all the shots you can handle. It's like if there was ever a time to show up and show out, it's right now.
It's not even the fact that he's missing shots, it's the shots that he is taking. They are some bad shot selection. Like,
he just doesn't find buckets the way he should. He just doesn't
like he tries to make the game way harder than what it is. Like, bro, calm down.
Just take some space and like attack sometimes. Like, like you can get more, he can get way more layups than he gets. Like, he's just not, he doesn't see it right. I don't know what the deal is, but he just doesn't.
Because like what Dewberry was saying, like when they did get all those bigs over there, they started like kind of playing him more so at the 3 at the time too. So I don't know, maybe if he was kind of taking advantage of that at the time, or I don't know. Like, I mean, I was kind of shocked when Denver gave him that contract though. Like, I was like, he's good, but I don't know what you guys are expecting, or I don't know if they just didn't want to lose him because they didn't have anything better in place. I don't know what that was about, but
I think you're overrating the contract. What is the contract you're talking? Like, I don't think it was that much.
You got 90 million.
For how many years?
I mean, it was like 4 or 5 years. It was a max extension.
I mean, that's what guys go for. I mean, if you're free, I mean, look at Tobias. He's way cheaper than Tobias. I mean, like it's like you said, like, I mean, it's timing. Like, Michael Porter Jr. got a max. So did Jamal Murray. Those guys have never made all-star teams, and they're getting paid like,
they really like that now. They kind of pay you for what they think you're gonna do rather than what you've done.
Well, it's really just this whole max thing. It's like if you're eligible at whatever age you are, how many years of service, whatever the max is, you just get it. Like Ayton, he's like, I don't care. I'm getting the max. You don't think I'm good as Embiid? I don't care. I'm getting the same contract. It's like, that's just, I'm getting the max. That's what I say. And so that's like that. And Nuggets have always given them. That's why at least props to them for spending money. They've given the contracts to Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray and now Gordon, but man, that team is barren without those other two guys.
Yeah. He has a contract extension for up to $92 million. The base is 4 years, $86 million. So it's an average salary of $21.6 million. Yeah,
it's like Capella money. It's like expensive starter.
He ain't even Capella right now.
No, but I mean, but Capella's never been an all-star either. He's not. No one thinks he's going to be one either.
Capella's a great rim protector, great rebounder. Like, he has stuff that he's great at.
He's good. I want about great. He's good. Good.
Capella's a great rebounder. Stop it.
Not anymore.
Stop it.
You didn't watch him this year.
Well, he got the new USC dude over there now. So I mean, he's kind of taking some of his minutes, but that's because he's more of a big for now rather than Capella being like a traditional big. So of course they want those type of centers and bigs that you can stretch out and can guard the perimeter if need be and all that stuff. And that's not really Capella's forte.
Oh, but I picked this series. I picked it to go long, but so I hope it does. But obviously, I picked the Warriors. Everyone did. I mean, I just
the Warriors in 6 or something. You thought they were going to get a couple?
I said 7 for fun.
7.
You got to pick. Well, hold on, JC. You got to pick weird stuff when you're doing these brackets. Remember, like, I mean, the years the Spurs won the championship, it took them 7 games to get through the Mavs in the first round. And then they whipped LeBron's ass in 5. So it's never that linear. Or even think of the Celtics. The Celtics that beat your Lakers. They whipped your Lakers ass in 6 games. Took them 7 games to beat the Hawks in the first round. That was a 37-win team. So, it's not always that linear.
Lakers were hurt too that series, but we're not going to go there.
Yeah, but the Kobe Bryant should be better than a 37 and 45 win or 37 win Hawk team. It's not always linear like that was my point. So I was just like, I was betting.
Jeff, I understand you're a Spurs fan, but you ain't gonna get too much more Lakers slander. Calm down.
No, but I'm saying, but back to the series, like a lot of it was like Steph was supposed to be hurt, right? So I was like, maybe the Nuggets can steal one of the first games, and then it takes a while for the Warriors to get healthy, and then they start rolling.
Like bad like that. That was their chance to try to exploit and take.
Yeah, minutes restriction. Steph is like the best you can hope is that he's not playing.
If I look, I don't even. I might have. I think I did. Even though I know I said go to State in 2. I think I actually did give it like 5, if I'm not mistaken. So
you get Jokic to win, yeah.
I felt like Jokic could get a game.
He usually does.
He probably still might be able to sneak one in.
And just to remember in the chat the other day,
Jordan Poole was gonna start playing like this in the playoffs. Like, damn, like,
he's the real deal. But just to make sure, you said something in the chat the other day. You said that Jokic was going to lose in the first round again. Just need to point out that he has never lost in the first round in 3 years.
Thank you.
I'm gonna point something else out that you said on the internet too. But we can say that later. Miami and Atlanta. I think I had Miami in 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Looks like I picked him in 6.
You gave Atlanta 2 games?
No, when I did it was we did this brackets earlier. I didn't know it was gonna be the Hawks yet. I was just like, whoever is like the Heat's.
I was probably the only one that actually they were literally texting me the morning of. I was like, no, I'm waiting until it's set so I don't get my stuff messed up.
I just didn't care about any of those. Well, for one, the Nets thing was already settled by the time I did it. So it's like that's the only play-in team that it mattered what I was gonna pick. So it was like, I don't think the Hawks are that good, but I was just like, maybe the Heat will. Trae Young, he's been good in the playoffs. Maybe they'll steal a couple games, Heat in 6, but a shorter 6. I'm not thinking it'll go 7,
After I saw that play-in game performance by Trae Young, I was not confident at all in the Hawks, so I had Miami in about 5. I thought it'd be fairly quick. Miami's a good defensive team. Tyler Hero has been balling this year. They've been playing good basketball, so I had Miami in 5. I just didn't think they would struggle at all.
And I want to say this too, like I had Miami as my dark horse sleeper on the East, even though they're number
dark horse sleeper. I thought you picked him to win the championship in our bracket.
I did, but I'm gonna tell you why. Because even though they're a number 1 seed, I don't really hear a lot of people talking about them as like a real threat or contender to win the championship. And I just feel like when they fully have everybody from Depot to Hero to I don't know if Morris is back yet. With Morris, like just have the whole core, everybody there, and Butler's playing like playoff Butler. I don't think there's any team. Or let me rephrase that. They have the potential to be any team on the East when they're fully healthy. So I have them as like the dark horse to.
You have him as a champion. I've seen your bracket. You picked him, didn't you?
Yeah, I actually did. I had them in Golden State. So I mean, obviously, I can go if that does happen. That can go either way. But
I totally think they can win the championship. But I did pick them to lose in Philly in the next round. So
damn, that's what they would play. So I had Miami beating Philly.
Yeah, you had them going. You had them beating everybody.
That's mean. I did that to Embiid, man.
Your boy. I think you know what I said when I saw you did that. I was like, oh, he's trying to gas up Miami, so the Lakers will look better for beating that Miami team in the finals. I was like, oh, that's big brain shit right there. That's big brain Lakers shit right there.
You can make an agenda out of any series or anything you can look at. Oh, this because this, and then he can go back to that and say, like
you would do it too. 5 years from now, I was like, that Miami team was good. They won a championship a couple years later.
But here's the thing, though. I think this Miami team is better than that Miami.
Oh, of course. This has Kyle Lowry on it. I mean, come on. And Bam's better. And Bam's better.
Hey, you notice I didn't even mention that bum's name? Like he's about to get carried again to a championship.
I don't know why you're saying carried, because he's the one that won one of them games. He scored like 20 points in the first half. Kawhi was done by the finals. You must not pay attention. Kawhi owned the Middle East rounds. You didn't pay attention to the finals, my friend. He was hurt by then.
Everybody was hurt. Like it was like,
Kawhi was real hurt. Kawhi's real hurt. Kawhi does real hurt things.
All right, my favorite playoff series, man. Brooklyn versus Boston, man. We in for a treat. I cannot wait till tomorrow. Like, Oh my gosh, like this, I think this is for sure going to 7. I think I had Brooklyn in 7 anyway, so I knew it was gonna be, a dog fight. The fact that they won in that fashion though was like, wow. I honestly, games like that kind of get, even though Boston was at home, when you have a game that gets stolen from you like that, it usually doesn't work out in your favor. You know what
Yeah, I
I'm saying?
mean, it's weird. It's like that could be it.
Poetry. Like,
that could have been it right there. We don't know, but
yeah,
that could
like
have been it.
sometimes, like when you lose a game that you're technically not supposed to lose, most times that comes back to bite teams, and they don't. They always look back like, damn, like that was the game right there. Like,
I also picked the Nets in 7. Yeah, but that's a tough game to lose, like
they
you
have
said.
Boston as the heavy favorites now, though. After game 1.
Well, they were, like I said, it was a split series, and now obviously they took care of business like that. Everyone thinks the Nets are going to lose now.
Yeah. Boston is just a really good defensive team, especially against isolation, which Brooklyn kind of specializes in with KD and Kyrie. So it could go either way, but like you said, to get a game stolen from under you like that is kind of heartbreaker. And when you already think it's going to go 7, that's a game that you kind of really need in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, we're in for a treat. This is going to be a good one. Strap your boots in and get your popcorn ready because it's going to be good.
I just want to say I hope we're right, because there's been some series in the past where we're like, oh, it's going to be a 7-game one. You see a great game, and then it destroys their team, and they lose in like 5. Like, I remember it happened like one year, the Suns and Spurs. It was a weird, like, it was a triple or double overtime game 1, and they had played a bunch of years, and everyone's like, oh man, another great series. And then it was like the Suns lost that game and ended up losing in 5 or something. It was just like I hope we're right, because the whole game was good. That wasn't just like a close game. It was like, this is great basketball.
I got two other notations on that too. For one, looking at Boston the other night, I was just thinking like, damn, imagine if they had a point guard. Like, whew. Like that, like
they have a point guard. What are you saying? This is trash. They have a point guard.
I'm thinking like if they got like one of those, like, not even like the like the Morants and stuff, but like if they had like the season like Chris Paul or something that you implement, like, man.
Nah, Marcus Smart's the reason they went on their run. They finally gave him point guard.
I look at Smart as their off guard. I don't really look at him as like their.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't pay attention to Celtics, Clear, because what happened during the season was, after all these years of calling Marcus Smart a shooting guard, they finally said, all right, we've tried to get Kemba Walker in here. We've tried Kyrie Irving, like, you're now our point guard. And what happened? They went off.
He was always like a combo guard for them anyway. He was.
He disagrees. No.
When he was in college, he played the one guard.
He was a point guard.
That's what I'm saying. He came in as like they were talking about him taking the reins from Rondo at the time.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said off guard.
But yeah, that's the point. Like, they tried to make him more into off guard instead of allowing him to play his real position at the one guard, which he was at Oklahoma State. And I mean, it worked out there for a while in a sense, but now they're really letting him hone in on those duties and allowing him to play point guard as they should. So we'll see what happens. He's gonna have to defend Kyrie a little bit better than he did last game.
That's playoff Kyrie. Ain't nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, there's no hope for that. There's no defensive player of the year could do anything about Kyrie Irving in the playoffs.
I mean, in 2019, when Kyrie said, "I won't shoot 7 for 22 again," fucked around and shot even worse. So we'll see.
But he was playing in Boston and he was already out.
You know what's scary too though about Brooklyn? KD could play better than he did last game.
Yeah.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, that's a huge understatement.
So
KD looked out of rhythm, you know what I'm saying, last game. Like,
but Kyrie also, I know people are getting on KD's head. He was forced into that last bad shot. That was a terrible decision by Kyrie to try to force that like that. He definitely should have moved the ball better on that last possession that led to the Tatum layup. So KD, I don't think KD should be getting killed for that shot, because I mean it was a bad shot, but it was a bad shot. He was forced.
No, I don't mean that shot. I just mean overall during the game. Like, he just didn't look like really in rhythm, you know, like what we're accustomed to seeing KD play like, you know, because it's really hard to get him out of his rhythm.
I mean, they got 2 Defensive Player of the Year candidates. Horford finished top 5 or 6. Something that people don't realize. So
What are you talking about?
You want to see the list?
I didn't see it. You saying Horford finished 5th in Defensive Player of the Year voting?
He was like 5th or 6th for sure.
You dead ass?
I'm dead serious.
I gotta look this
Horford
up.
finished
Hold on.
Who was Bam 4th? Please tell me Bam was 4th.
Let me. I'll have to find it. We'll finish that in the chat. I'll have to find it. But I just seen the official ballot list that they have for it, and Horford was in there. Like he was like top 5 or 6, I think.
He is. Let's see. He's 9th, which makes a lot more sense.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I was reading while
and you know how he got 9th? He got one single second place vote. So one person.
Well, I think I was reading the list while I was driving, so it probably looked closer than what it was at the time.
Well, it's also the ranking is as important as like he literally is only a 9th because one person voted him.
Thibault only had like 1 vote. Wasn't he right? Wasn't he like 9th or something like that?
Thibault had one single 3rd place vote.
And he was what, like same
10th? No, he's like 10th.
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, like Bam, like I said, the only guys that got significant votes were the top 6, and it ends with Giannis, basically. And by the way, Horford is the 3rd Boston guy. Robert Williams, the center who's injured, he was actually 6th.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so Horford was 3rd on the South. That's how good their defense is.
I think I'm peeping Horford's resurgence. Like for him to,
he hasn't had a resurgence. He had one game because Bruce Brown talked shit, and then Robert Williams is out. Like, Horford's been fine.
Horford literally fell out of a rotation last year because OKC's tank job to where they were.
Well, that's not. He did that. But everyone knew that wasn't a talent thing. That was just we're just you're gonna go home until we find you a suitor. Like.
Well, he started off the season trash. Let's keep it real. He started off that season trash, and then after the All-Star break, he turned up a little bit, going probably for like maybe 2-3 weeks. He was going off and getting his regular double numbers, and then they shut him down.
Yeah, I thought that was just to preserve his value. Basically, I thought they were just like, "Hey, you've been too trash. Like, we got to get you to play." Like,
and then Boston brought him back. Like,
well, yeah, why not? There wasn't. Remember, it wasn't cheap. It cost like Moses Brown or something. Like, it wasn't like like it wasn't like they traded a bunch for him. Like,
I mean, that was the Kemba trade, wasn't it?
Yeah, which again, Kemba is not a bunch. Like, like they OKC really. I think OKC just got some picks in it. Like they usually do. They just like, yeah, we'll take some.
Them dudes, man. They picks when my kids is grown. Like they got picks, still.
Their picks have picks.
All right, what's next? Milwaukee, Chicago.
Everyone picked this in 4 or 5.
Yeah, nobody believes in playoff the Frozen.
It's not just DeRozan. I mean, this team's been asked. They've had a losing record since like January 1st. They're not good.
And if I'm not mistaken, they had a losing record against 500 teams.
Everyone saw that. Well, that's what everyone was clinging to. Everyone was clinging to their like record against good teams. I was like, screw good teams. Look at the last 3 months, guys. They've been an under 500 team. We just like they had such a good like early part of the season when everyone was healthy, when Lonzo was cooking and Caruso, like those guys are defending, everyone made sense. But it's like as soon as the guys got hurt, they're a below 500 team. They're not just like they're ass.
Hey, Hey, Dubre, you've been trying to tell me about this Caruso guy. I'm actually kind of like thinking back to it. Like, man, like I think we did drop the ball on that.
JC, I remember it was.
It took Dubre to tell you this.
No, it took me because I don't know. Like Caruso he was the type of guy who just did everything right. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't like, I guess somebody who like stood out as far as like, like as far as like Schroeder, you know what I'm saying? Like it would stand out more than Caruso based on his style of play. Like Caruso was just very like the sneaky good defender. He was a sneaky good pass. Like
he's not a stat guy. It's like Shane Battier. Shane Battier never put up numbers.
Caruso did like a little bit of everything solid. You know what I'm saying?
Caruso is
there's not too many players
that you need to win a championship. Like you
said,
he's like Shane.
But also like Caruso's more than solid at defense. Like he's elite at defense. Like he can guard 3 positions. Elite.
Yeah, like anytime I would watch him on the court playing for the Lakers, I would get fucking excited.
And he's a die for loose balls type of guy too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's
he does everything right.
When you guys won the bubble championship, like that season, you're like
bubble championship.
No, listen, I'm just telling you. Get over it. Shut the fuck up. Listen, that year, 4 of your 5 best lineups had 2 players in it, and it wasn't LeBron and AD. It was LeBron and Alex Caruso. It was weird stuff, man. Like he knows how to play basketball. And LeBron likes smart guys, and especially guys that are willing to defend all the small guys for him while he's taking possessions off because he needs to, because he's an old man and he has to do so much for his teams. They needed Caruso.
Back at it, man. Like I wasn't thinking too big of the team at the time, man, but I miss that team so much right now. I
don't understand why shit had to change.
I was like, what? We had
you win a championship. You win a championship with LeBron playing point guard, and then decide, oh, we need to make an upgrade at point guard. No, you should have just kept whatever the fuck you had going on and kept it rolling.
It is clear though that like you could tell LeBron and those guys felt the way JC felt though, like that they were just like, you know, it's like we won that championship, but we could shuffle, you know, as long as we got us 2, we can shuffle stuff around. And then they just made all these bad choices, you know, just every single one was silly.
Even like, you know, Dwight's like second chance, well, like his 5th chance season, you know what I'm saying? And he came and he was exactly what we needed at that time. Like, I didn't even think that was going to work. I didn't even think he was going to make it past the point. I think he was on a non-guaranteed contract.
I was so high on that. I was like, since he was on non-guaranteed, I was like, man, he's gonna like be the best backup center in the league. I thought for sure. I was like, this is finally it.
I mean, in a sense, you were right. I mean, he played his role perfectly. Like
he reminded me of Alonzo Mourning backing up Shaq, like in 06. Like he was that good. Like
forget now, man. Dwight was on his way to being out of the league. If that didn't work, he was probably done. And now Dwight still has a job, you know, a few years later.
Yeah, he gets guaranteed contracts to be a backup center thanks to that one season where he, you know, says like, I'm finally going to stop asking for post touches because I'm awful at it.
Right. I think Rondo gave himself a few more years with that too, with that being on that team.
Not just years. Rondo got paid too. Like, you know, like he was going to get minimums and then he got like little, like good role player contracts like right. Since then, which he did totally was awful in that playing game for Cleveland. He was real bad, but
yeah. So Isaiah, you same, you got like Bucks and like
oh yeah, I had Bucks in that match. I do not.
Like I said, we didn't have to talk about this one. It's like literally every analyst, every fan, like no one is picking the Bulls even in like to go to 6, which will be funny. Like watch this series go to 7, but no, it looks bad. It looks bad.
I'm sorry, bro.
The Frozen just said, "I'm not gonna shoot 5 for 25 again." I was like, "Nigga, this is what you do in the playoffs." What are you talking about?
Watch him shoot like one shot worse. Watch him shoot one shot worse. He's like, "Told you."
Because I was sitting up here, I'm like, bro, even in Toronto, I wanted DeRozan to get over that hump so bad, but it's just like as soon as the playoff lights come on, bro, he just turns.
And they did the same thing. Isaiah, I think it was the first episode we did, and he was playing. Everybody was MVP, and I literally told you, I said, look, he's gonna show us who he is again in the playoffs. I'm not even like phased by this.
I do.
You know that Stephen A. meme when he's sitting at the spit. Like that's my face when DeRozan starts going off in the regular season and they're talking MVP. They've done this so many times.
Especially as a scorer, he played his best basketball this season. But man, oh gosh, that performance in what was it, 1? That was game 1, right? Oh my gosh, bro. I've seen cow shit play better than he has. Oh my gosh. Like him in the playoffs is that like people sit up here and slander Stephen Curry for his finals numbers or slander James Harden for like his playoff mishaps. But DeRozan, oh my gosh.
Hey, I can tell you, bro, way back in the day, I was always on that DeRozan train of get this nigga the F out of here. I've always said that. I've never fell for that. No,
I was one of the original DeRozan haters too, man. Like I was way off of DeRozan. Like he was the one. That's why I was a big Lowry guy because Lowry would get grouped into him. I was like, Lowry is not playing like this.
I had both of them.
Yeah, no,
you're wrong.
Lowry's
wrong.
Like, he might have some bad moments or some bad games like here and there. But DeRozan, oh my gosh.
DeRozan got benched. Like, no, when things went bad in Toronto, like Lowry didn't get benched. DeRozan straight up got benched in like a game 3 or game 4, and they were all awkward and like didn't want to talk about it. Like, they're like,
everybody was so pissed off.
Yeah,
like, bro, he's playing like shit.
He's awful. He's bad.
He's fucking terrible.
Yeah, he's better player now because he's like.
How did you feel for the Blockbuster trade when he came to your team?
Oh, well, I mean, I'd already like, I wanted to get something.
Didn't want DeRozan, by the way. Like, they were talking about him to the Lakers too.
No, I mean, I was like, I was more sad when the Kawhi thing broke up. I was like, when I knew he was going to get traded, and then obviously when I got the return, I was like, obviously I was hoping for picks, but it was like, I know Pop's old, he's not going to do that, and so I hated it. But I loved like DeRozan's attitude, and also like he broke down his game and was better at things than he's ever been like better at, and he's like played power forward for us. Like, we turned him into a power forward is what he's been playing. That's what he plays for the Bulls. Like, people don't even like pay attention to that. It's like their dream backcourt is they start Caruso and Ball, but Ball's not healthy. Then Zach LaVine's at the 3, and then that means DeRozan's at the 4. Like, I like him as a guy, and he's always worked on his game, but conceptually as a basketball player, like, he's bad at defense and he can't shoot threes.
But that's the great thing about Caruso. He doesn't even have to start. Like, whatever you need him to do, he's going.
Yeah, but that mean they were whenever they were cooking, they were starting him because they were like, we more minutes. This guy's got a guard. Him and Lonzo made them so fast. Like, they were so good at defense.
I'm so glad Lonzo got that contract because I've been telling people, like, I love Lonzo's game. He's not what LeVar Ball said he would be, but you shouldn't have been thinking he was going to be that anyway. For what he does, Lonzo is great at it to me. Like, he's like the perfect module of like a mixture of a traditional and now point guard, and then he improved his shot on top of that. Like, that guy when he gets back, man, and then like I love when he has a team around him that he can just like run and gun with. Like, I wanted him to stay with Zion. I really did. Like, I felt like that was, like a perfect combination type of thing, but I guess they didn't want to pay him. Whatever reason.
I'm still confused by that, but yeah, I'm happy. I think he's even more when you were saying like Clay is like the perfect for the modern NBA. Like, I think Lonzo's almost that, because like Lonzo can be your lead distributor. Like, he moves the ball and like he can guard all those 3 positions. Like, my thing with Clay is I don't think Clay's as good a defender as he used to be, but like peak Clay, yeah. But like Lonzo now, to me, like, this is moving forward. Like, you want that guy in all your lineups. Like, he can guard any of the bottom 3 positions. He'll always ball move. He can totally possess the ball. And now that he can shoot threes, it's just like, he's just really smart. He's a really smart, good guy.
Yeah, like, especially since he's not the distributor like Rondo was, especially early in his career, a ball stopper. Like, he doesn't really care about assists in a sense. Like, he's just all about moving the ball and putting the ball in the best spot for everybody's success.
Yeah, he can play off and on. That's the thing. Like, Rondo is like that, like Westbrook, that prototypical type. It's like the way they were raised. It's like, I need the ball at all times. One reason is because I can't shoot, so off ball, I'm not going to give you space. But also, I just think I'm the best person to make all these classic point guard decisions, like John Stockton BS. Lonzo's more of this new age, like, oh, I can do that, but like, basketball's fluid. Like, Lonzo could play on Golden State and he could play on the Hawks. Like, he could do both those things. Like, he could run pick and roll or he could run motion offenses. Like, Lonzo.
Why Golden State didn't think they could fit LaMelo Ball into what they were doing?
I think LaMelo's a little different than Lonzo, to be fair. But
LaMelo's quite a bit more on ball than Lonzo is. Like,
yeah, that's why I don't like Lonzo's a more fitting guy than LaMelo to me. But also, I think that was more the Warriors knew.
Lonzo could do a catch and shoot type of.
I think the Warriors just knew they had to hit on a big more than they needed to hit on a guard. I think that's just like what they thought.
Yeah,
that's why they got Wiseman and Kuminga on that team, because it was like, we got to hit something here, because Draymond's old. He's not.
Speaking of Wiseman, is he hurt?
Yeah, he is hurt. He's out for the. But I also think they're like kind of hiding him. But he is hurt. He's definitely hurt. I remember it was weird him come back, but then they like ruled him out. I think right before the playoffs, they're like, he's not coming back.
Damn. And then I think last is Phoenix.
Yeah,
Phoenix Pelicans still a game. Because I think I had them getting swept, if I'm not mistaken.
They're gonna win a game. Just because I said they'll make the play-in. I mean, they'll make the playoffs from the play-in, which they did. I think they'll steal a game. They'll still win game.
Yeah, I was nice too. I picked the Suns in 5, so the gentleman's sweep, if you will.
No, I say Phoenix.
I say Ingram and McCollum go off one game and steal a game, and then
I know Phoenix is like the dangerous team on the West. Like everybody has been consensusly making it. They're looking damn good right now. But I think I had if I'm not mistaken, I think I had Golden State.
You have the Warriors. Some people have picked the Warriors. Those are pretty much the only 2 teams. It sort of seems like a 70-80% Suns, and then the other percent is like Warriors. Like no one's picking these other West teams. Like I think maybe one crazy person did a Grizzlies pick somewhere, but it was like it's just like one person. The East has all kinds of winners out there. That's more messy.
Isn't that crazy, man? Thinking back 15 years ago, 10 years ago, like the West has always like been like the powerhouse, like where you got like teams 10 games over 500 not making playoffs and stuff like that. And it's like now, like the East is, that's where everybody went. It seems.
I do think, but some of that is like injuries. It's like the Clippers would be probably one of those teams that could be a threat if Kawhi and Paul George were healthy. It's like, like the Mavs, like we can't even think about the Mavs without Luka either. The Jazz have kind of fallen apart, and obviously Denver we can't even consider without Jamal and Michael Porter Jr. It's like the East just has like
most like people was overrating them. Like I never thought they were going to do nothing like crazy deep. I was shocked when they even went to the Western Conference Finals, and look what they had to do to get there. They come back from like 2-3-1 leads. Like
yeah,
I was really too high on Denver. Like I don't know. Like just
no, but I just my point was just that like we can't even consider what they are because it's like they're two of the best 3 players are gone. It's like when we're talking about East West for this season, it's like the West kind of got hit by injuries to be like, yeah, like more than the East did. Basically,
you just take any chance to slander Jokic and the Nuggets, don't you? Right?
Which is fine. You can slander the Nuggets. Just
I was actually being nice for once, and I wasn't coming for Jokic.
Yeah, nobody expected woman-ass Lakers to pull that shit that they did this year.
Let's do it then. We're gonna talk about candidates, we're gonna talk about the finalists. Since you want me to slander Jokic so bad.
Now listen, but start with defense player of the year because we already talked about that and that the winner's been announced because
Marcus Smart won defensive player of the year and the finalists were Mikal Bridges and Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people pissed off about this. They felt like Mikal Bridges.
I mean, defensive player of the year is like the weird one to me. I know now they probably go by all the advanced metrics and defensive numbers and stuff like that. But back in the day, I always wonder like, what do you guys go off of? Like. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you using?
Vibes. They used to go off vibes, baby. They used to like. Remember like
what?
Well, I remember. I think like the first ones like didn't a bunch go like Sidney Moncrief. So it was like the first one seemed like we all understood that centers were great defenders, and it was like they wanted to reward these perimeter guys that were really good at it. So it felt like that was what they were doing at first, and then it just became like who's the best shot blocker and start giving it to them, But they always sprinkle in the weird stuff, Jordan won one randomly, even though we all think Pippen was probably better. Like it's weird, what they've done. Now at least it's not a block thing.
Kobe went up in there. They might as well have.
Kobe was never even close. He was never in the conversation. LeBron had a chance. LeBron had a real shot that one year. That was real.
Marcus Gasol.
Yeah.
It's just still wild to me how he won defensive player of the year, but made, what was it, second team all defense or?
Yeah, because like a tie between 2 other, like Tyson Chandler or whatever. Like, yeah.
It was just weird that year.
But it also makes sense if like the way the votes are split up and like the way the math is. It's like when you're just given a ballot and it's like rank 5 guys at any position, defensive player of the year, like who has that best narrative. It makes sense that just however the numbers came out that it might be different than the teams, but it just doesn't make sense that like that many guys were like. It must have been like whoever didn't like Marc Gasol, like didn't put him on either of the first teams. They must have just been like, nah, fuck Marc Gasol. Like I'm doing Chandler and Joakim Noah, like they like, so it must've been like, there was enough people that thought he was the defensive player of the year to get those number 1 votes. But when it came to the teams, whoever didn't like him was like, I'm taking Noah and I'm taking Chandler over him. Like something like that.
That was for sure. Like always the most random award where it's like, what is your guys' criteria? like we have no clue. Like we can't even like really get mad or nothing. I mean, of course, Bron sexuals are mad because they wanted Bron to get something Michael Jordan had, so they still cry about it. But
they certainly do. They
like,
certainly do. No, I like you said. I mean, all we had for years was blocks and steals, but we've all admitted that those like were never.
Yeah, that can be
like.
Iverson had like what, damn near 3 steals 1 year. Like,
yeah.
Iverson led the league in steals. He led the league in steals like 4 or 5 times and never made even a defensive team at all. So it's like we obviously knew.
Iverson will tell you I was a bad defender. Like,
yeah, but then there's other weird stuff. Like 1 year, Larry Hughes was like over 2 a game on steals, and then they gave him a defensive team like that year, like behind Kobe or something. It was like, so some years they would do, it's like some years they like steals, some years they don't. But generally blocks they always respected at least. Like steals were always weird, but blocks they definitely always like respect.
Like, even if you say you're using eye test, you guys are not watching all 32 teams.
Yeah, there's no way.
Well, especially back then. Like nowadays they do have numbers. They can see what guys shot against you, how much minutes every second you spend on the court. Like now you actually can't. Like I believe in it more now, even though criteria and people's opinions can be different. But like you said, back in the day, whatever they were voting on in the 90s, like whoever the beat writer was, whoever the beat writer is in Milwaukee isn't watching every Utah Jazz game when like that tall guy's winning. What's his name? Like, I forget what his name was. What was that tall guy that averaged so many blocks a game? Like 5 blocks. Who was that guy for the Jazz that averaged like 5 blocks a game at a time?
For the Jazz.
He was like a big old white guy.
He played with Malone in them?
Maybe a little. He had to a little bit, I guess. But yeah, he won a defensive player of the year. I'm pretty sure he averaged like 5 blocks a game sometimes. He was crazy.
Let's look it up.
I think Say again?
I thought 4 was the record from what's his name? I forgot who did that stuff, but it was like 4.1 or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Mark Eaton. That's what
I was about to say Eaton too, but I was unsure.
This is riveting part of the podcast, but
I still hate advanced stats, but you're right. At least they can
Mark Eaton averaged 5.6 blocks a game 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah, that was in 84. Wait, no, 85. That was in 85. 85 with Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing and Hakeem Olajuwon in the league. He led the league with 5.6 blocks a game.
He won defensive player of the year twice.
Yeah. But anyways, my point bringing him up was just like, that's how, it's pretty like, just you get a lot of blocks. They were always respected. You could get like Dikembe Mutombo has 4 of them. And Wallace has 4 of them.
That means if you put Hassan Whiteside in that era, he would have probably got one.
Serge Ibaka finished second in like the 2010s when he averaged like almost 4 blocks a game. It was like, I feel like in the 90s he would have won. But I liked how they didn't give it because I was like, he isn't like he's jumping all the time because he's stupid. Joakim Noah was way better at defense, and Joakim Noah didn't do blocks because he stays on.
Just like people say you can gamble on steals, people don't realize you can gamble on blocks too.
Yeah, it seems like we were.
He hated White.
I watched Aaron Gordon do that shit all last game with his sorry ass.
Who?
Watched Aaron Gordon pull that shit all game too, getting his ass fried.
I ain't gonna lie, I fell asleep on that game. Like
I did too. But back to the defense player of the year, I was actually happy Smart won it. Just kind of like it was a weird year the way people got hurt. Like, do I think Marcus Smart is the best defender in the league? No, but like if a guard is gonna win it, I kind of feel like it's a career thing. Like Marcus Smart, since he was a rookie, I remember when he was a rookie, he got thrown on Dirk Nowitzki in a 4th quarter. Like he's been thrown on all kinds of guys, all shapes and sizes for his whole career. Like he guards all types of guys. Is he better like by the numbers than like Gobert or Bam Adebayo? It's like, no, but like those guys all had like, Gobert's team dropped and Gobert's had enough of those awards. Like Bam only played 60 games or whatever. It's like, if guys were healthier, I would have given it to them. Like, and Mikal Bridges, he was actually second. He played all the games, but I was like, I just like that Smart one instead of Bridges.
One of those years, I felt like Gobert didn't play enough games, so I felt like
he didn't. He did. That was the thing. It was like his team is also worse at defense. Like Gobert played less games, so it's like we can't give Gobert another one, even if like his numbers are still good. It's like he just like you've already got too many. Like we would have. I think the voters and me too. I think we all wanted to give Draymond another one because Draymond only had 1 for this era, and that kind of feels weird that like Gobert has 3 or 4, Kawhi got 2, and Draymond only has 1. And so it's like, it kind of felt like, and Warriors defense was good, but then he got hurt and it screwed up that whole momentum. And then he never like was able to get that award back. And then Marcus Smart just kind of pumped in the media and was like, hey, a guard should win it. And they all went with it. And I'm kind of happy with it. I'm fine with it.
All right, so coach of the year, we got Taylor Jenkins, Eric Spoelstra, Monty Williams. So Ty Lue didn't even crack top 3.
Well, they were the 8th seed. I mean,
I put him over Taylor Jenkins.
Hell no. You just said earlier that the Grizzlies weren't supposed to do this, and we just brought up what their record was without John Morant.
I hate his
their record without John Morant.
He literally plays like 13 players a game. Like,
oh yeah, you just don't like him because he doesn't play your boy. I get it. But anyways,
he has his moments. He started him some games. It's just
I don't think that's his fault. I mean, there's too deep. I'm sorry, that's a lot of they got a lot of wings to play.
But that should be a good thing, right? So like you have that.
It is a good thing, but that means you're going to be unhappy. That means guys are going to be unhappy because they're not going to get enough minutes. Still, it's like a good problem to have as a coach. Which again, he got the 2nd seed when you admitted that no one thought he would. He missed his supposed superstar for a quarter of the season, and they still were like 20-5 without him or whatever. So it's like he definitely should be there. I like the final 3. Monty's winning this thing. He deserves it. Give it to Monty.
I honestly think who we were just talking about is probably going to win because of all the reasons you just said.
Monty's winning it because they owe Monty from last year. Monty could have won it last year and he got 2nd or something, and they owe Monty.
Yeah, but he didn't win it last year.
I think the fact that he just
remember Thibodeau. They let Thibodeau's dumbass win it last year.
Oh yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, so they owe Monty for what they did last year. They're giving it to Monty.
You're saying okay, this is the makeup coach of the year award for Monty.
No, he deserves. They have the best record in the league. JC, Chris Paul missed a quarter of the year. He deserves it, and it's a payback. That's why I'm talking about so confidently. Is they like he'd be my pick.
The teams that when the season starts, you're not even thinking about being in that position. That's who you should be considering for coach of the year.
But that's different. But hold on. But the Suns did more than that. The Suns with like 65 wins is not what we were talking. They laughed the league. No one's
number 1 seed though. In the West,
they could challenge for it. They weren't thinking like guaranteed going to get it, but they would challenge for it. No, they ran away from the league.
Their number 1 seed was kind of flukish. Like that's what some people felt like. So for them to go back,
they
felt like the playoff run was kind of flukish, but they still felt like
they didn't have the number 1. They didn't have the number 1 seed last year. So and again, remember last year they didn't have the expectations, and Monty didn't win, even though they got a 2 seed.
Last year they kind of had some expectations because they had that little 8-0 run in the bubble, and then people were like, "Oh, well, if they would have had more time."
But the last time we saw Chris Paul, he was, like just a feisty 7th seed in OKC, and that was a year removed from that.
Talking about OKC was supposed to be a lottery team. People were praising OKC.
No, but I'm talking about the expectation for the Suns. No one was saying the Suns were going to get a 2nd seed last year. Absolutely not. No one was saying that. People were saying, "Oh, I think they'll make the playoffs, like 6th seed." Like frisky Denver style.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think they were saying like they're going to make the playoffs, but they're not.
Oh, for sure.
Top.
Yeah, but then again, Monty had them as one of the best teams in the league. He didn't win that award, even though he should have, and they gave it to Thibodeau because of New York media. Monty's owed. Like that team, they ran away with the league. No one's even close to that.
Thibodeau got coach of the year last year.
Yeah,
I know, dude. It was a travesty. I couldn't believe it either. I
just looked it up, and his bum ass definitely did.
It was so bad.
All right, what's next? MIP, most improved player. We got Darius Garland, John Morant, DeJounte Murray. The controversial thing with that is Jordan Poole wasn't top 3, but
the controversial thing is the guy who's going to win, which this will literally be, I'm on record, this is going to be my least favorite of this entire awards history because it seems like Ja's going to win, and Ja should absolutely not be winning this award. It's stupid. It will be my least favorite I've ever seen.
I don't agree with that he shouldn't be winning, but I do agree that I would take him off of this because I think he's going to win an MVP at some point anyway. So let somebody else.
He was the number 2 pick in a draft that we thought both those guys are going to be superstars. So he's like a Kevin Durant number 2. He averaged 30 points a game in the playoffs last year. He averaged 38 and 5. So guess what? He was already doing that last year.
Like to do with playoffs, to be fair.
No, it does have to do with most improved. He did that last year.
From regular season.
No, that's not. They don't. The most improved player isn't like strictly based on. It's just who made a leap as a better player from this season to last. And like they do take into like playoffs, but they're just like, oh, it's a 5-game sample size, so whatever.
I feel like either Miles Bridges or what's his name should have been
Miles Bridges. Yeah, how did he not make it?
The Bridges thing seems weird.
It just did not make the fun.
So the Bridges thing just seems like they all his shooting kind of cooled off, but I'm still like, even with his 3 ended up being like 31% and he shot a lot, but I still think with the leaps he made, I would still have him over. Like Ja's not on my list. He just isn't. Like a Poole would have been in my top 3. Bridges might have been my 4 at this point. Actually, I love Garland, but I don't know. Maybe I did like.
Don't do that.
I was about to say Bridges, like, because Bridges was the guy the first half of the year who like was my guy, but then he just shot so bad. DeJounte's honestly not a bad pick. DeJounte took a true leap, like a real leap. Like
DeJounte took the leap this year that I thought he.
Yeah, out of the three finalists, I feel like DeJounte deserves it the most out of all the three finalists, in my opinion.
Yeah, I actually at this point would be like DeJounte and Poole.
Especially because of how they tried to do him with the All-Star game. Like, that was so disrespectful. Like, there's no way possible he didn't make that initial list. No way possible.
Oh yeah, I can't remember who made it over him that I was mad about.
Drew Wiggins, bum ass.
Oh my god. Yes, I couldn't. We'll never live that. What if it happens again next year? Like whoever, like man, like oof. Adam Silver's gonna have to intervene.
Isaiah, who you think is taking that though out of those three?
They'll probably end up giving it the job, but I just think Murray deserves it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't like it for a different reason than you guys though. I just think Morant is gonna be superstar for many.
I mean, that is part of my reason too. Like,
you know,
I don't mind. I don't mind if you make a leap to superstar from us not thinking you were that. Like Ja Morant was badass last year. Like, you know, like he made the play-in. He dropped 40 on Steph's head in the play-in and then averaged 30.
It was like 18 and 8 or something like that, right? Or 17 and 7. Like it wasn't, you know, it wasn't like.
That's an all-star point guard. It was like 19 and 8 or whatever. You know, it was. I mean, that's.
It wasn't like it was like, you know, like.
But that was like
at the numbers. That is a big leap if you just look at the numbers. But
yeah, but also like we know he's the number 2 pick and like this is his second year he's doing that, and then we saw what he did in the playoffs. Like, oh, they unleashed him in the playoffs and he's averaging 30. So it was like, yeah, he looks like the guy we thought. Like I liked Paul George winning it more because Paul George.
And then did what he did to Steph in the play-in. Like
exactly. But like Paul George was like a guy who won it like as from a superstar leap, but I thought he actually like improved because he was like a 10th pick and was like he was a project and actually like worked to get there. Because Paul George came in like as a role player and eventually became that guy, you know, like
and the only reason he ended up being a starter was because of injuries, because Granger kept getting hurt.
Yeah, and I'm not even like against the whole thing like number 2 pick can't win it, because Brandon Ingram won a couple years ago and I didn't hate it because Brandon Ingram truly improved. Like he was really like not just, it wasn't like the weird thing where it's like, oh, a guy got more minutes and now he's good. It's like Brandon Ingram just became a better shooter, passer, defender. Like he actually improved like the year he won it. You know, he finally worked. He got out of LA and finally worked on his game.
Yeah. Well, oh my gosh.
That's not LA's fault. That's his fault. That's Ingram's fault.
Yeah, but like JC said, looking at the raw numbers, I mean, I could understand why they had Ja in there. He went from like a little bit over 19 to 27 points, improved his shooting by 4 percentage points. Assists went down just a tad, but not by much. So, I mean, looking at the raw numbers, yeah, I can understand. But like you said, during the playoffs and playing and stuff, we saw this already. Like we knew that's where he was headed. All he needed was just a little bit more help and just find his flow of the game in a sense. And that's exactly what happened. I agree. Like there were other players that improved on their game more who were, like you said, closer to project players or weren't expected to be superstars like Ja Morant was.
Yeah, like I agree, like the whole math behind it. Like I get that the guys are doing that, but it's like we didn't do it for Luka. Like Luka jumped to his second year because, and why didn't we do it for when he went from like 28 and 7 to like 30, 8 and 8 or whatever? Like, you know, we didn't because we thought Luka was going to do that. Like, you know, we were like,
I didn't think Luka was going to do it that fast though. But I did.
No, but we thought he was going to be that. We you're right. We thought, but we did think he was like going to be a guy. Like, you know, the same way with Ja. Like I just, you know, Jordan Poole, I didn't think was going to do this, you know, like, and he looks real. Like
I thought once playback, like Poole was going to be like an afterthought, regular, come off the bench.
Yeah, and Poole, you can tell like Poole, it's not just like, oh, I got more minutes now. Look at my numbers. It's like he's just better at basketball. He's better. He's just better.
But think about it, you like look, I'm gonna give y'all a funny example. We've all played 2K back in the day, right? Blueberry, we used to have our, you know, we had our park days. We go way back.
Yeah.
With our my player, when we average like, you know, 35 and 5 one year, and then next year we average like 60, 10 and 10. Didn't they, when we used to look in the thing, didn't he used to say most improved player, even though we probably had just one MVP like the last year and all of that stuff?
Yeah, but that's strictly by math. You're not talking about it. Like, the way we vote on awards is nuance, narrative, like stuff like that. Like, you're just talking about math. Like, I mean, that's a video game projecting math. Like, that's not the same at all.
Imagine they in the offices doing the same thing. Like, let's look at these numbers. And
no computer is voting on, don't. You should delete this from the podcast.
I was kind of gonna say, like, come on,
you just brought up you simulating like averaging 60 points a game. I want most improved, so that's how it should go in real life.
Look, I gave a disclaimer though. I said this is a joke, but we did used to be in the most improved player thing, going from averaging 30 to averaging 60. Well, I averaged 60. I don't know. What you guys average? 100?
Yeah. Okay. Casey, you know what? If John Morant went from averaging 20 to 40, I would have given it to him. Because, and you know why? Because he wasn't doing that in the playoffs. He averaged 30 in the playoffs. So if he went to 40, yeah, then I'd give it to him.
All right, let's take the gloves off for this last one. I hate both of y'all, by the way. But
are we sure it's the last one? No, it's not. It can't be the last one.
What else?
No, we haven't done Rookie of the Year.
Oh, okay. Second to last one. Well, let's do Rookie of the Year first. That's it.
Yeah.
So you got Barnes, Cade Cunningham, and Evan Mobley. Giddey would be here if he wouldn't have got hurt. I think Mobley and Cade missed some time too, but whatever. That's neither here nor there.
So did Barnes.
Did he?
Yeah, he missed time in the middle.
You know what? I need to look at how many games all these dudes missed in to make.
You'll be, dude. When you start digging into Scotty Barnes versus Mobley, it's close, man. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, their numbers are super weird.
I mean, for sure.
Okay, Barnes only missed 8 games.
Cade started bad even when he did play, so I probably wouldn't pick him.
So Mobley played 69 and Barnes played 74. So it's just like a 5-game difference there. And Cade played 60. So he played 5 less.
I gotta rock with Mobley. Mobley's impact on Cleveland this season, and they're surprised with what they did with the combination of Garland as well. But Mobley, for him to be placed out of position and then he's making the impact he is with them. Like,
well, I disagree that he's placed out of position, but yeah, he's my number one.
He wasn't a center?
No. He's like a Garnett power forward to me. He's skinny. I mean, he's mobile.
You're talking about frame and all of that, but for them to
the guy that's out of position there is Markin.
They just maxed out their center, so I didn't even think that made sense. I was like, why are you guys doing that and then drafting a center? But they made it work. And
Markkinen was the weird part. The Mobley with Allen made sense to me. It was when they signed Markkinen to that.
Why do you guys have 5 bigs on the team?
Look, it worked. It worked until they got hurt. It works because Mobley can guard all kinds of guys. Mobley seemed like he had this all year, and then Barnes came on late. I don't blame anyone that votes for Barnes because there are some numbers that suggest, like, you have to really dig into their numbers. They're like crazy close, but I slightly give Mobley the nod because I think he's that crazy good at defense. But it was weird because it's like all year we kind of thought it was Mobley, but then like Barnes's team passed his and his numbers like ended up being like basically the same. They both averaged like 15, 8, and 3, basically something like that. It's like, it's weird. I don't blame anyone. I like all 3 of these guys. Mobley's my pick. I guess I got Barnes second.
Finally, we agree on something, dude. Right? Damn.
We agreed on a few of these things. Who you got, Anthony?
Like you said, it's kind of a toss up between Barnes and Mobley, man. I'll be the odd man out and say Barnes, just because
they had a better record. They passed Cleveland.
Yeah, so they had the better record. I think that might play into a factor just a tad bit. You know what I'm saying? But
he played more games too.
Yeah, it could like you said, it could honestly go either way, and I wouldn't be mad at either one.
Yeah, I'll be happy for either one of them. And they're also the type of guys that I don't think they care that much. Like, I'm sure they want it, but like they're winners, man. Those guys are like just like team guy winners. Like, they're not like caught up in that at all.
I mean, Tyreek Evans won Rookie of the Year.
He was caught up in it. Tyreek Evans was good. He came back and remember the Pelicans. He averaged like that same amount of points and stuff. Like, he kicked out of the league,
didn't he?
drugs. I thought. Yeah, he got kicked out because of drugs.
Weed.
Weed. You don't get kicked out of the league. You don't get kicked out of the league for weed.
That wasn't weed, bro.
It was more than weed.
Yeah, that wasn't.
You don't. Again, you don't get kicked out of the league.
All NBA players do that.
Yeah, like the NBA openly doesn't. Yeah, you won't be able to tell. Not every guy admits what he does. I think you're probably looking up on your phone to see what he did, but there's always like a group. You can look at the list of drugs that he might have done. Some people admit it. Like I'm pretty sure guys have admitted maybe he did Molly. I don't remember if he was the one who did Molly, but someone did. Maybe that was OJ Mayo that admitted to doing cocaine and Molly. I don't remember, but like, yeah, because I'm a drug guy. I like to know what the guys are doing when they get busted. Like Birdman, I went to Birdman's last game. But this is before he came back and won a championship in Miami, back when he was Denver dude. I went to his last game and heckled the hell out of him. He went 1 of 6 from the free throw line. I'll never forget it. And I was just being like an opposing fan, I was just being an opposing fan, like whatever. And then it was like, we just heckled him on his last game. He got suspended for 2 years after that game.
He had to do, it doesn't say exactly what he did, but
what's the list?
Ketamine, cocaine, LSD, opioids, or PCP. One of those got him kicked out for 3 years.
Yeah, so
because it says marijuana is just prohibited substances, not a drug of abuse.
Right.
Yeah.
And the length of his suspension let me know that it wasn't weed.
Yeah, that's basically what every time they get suspended is how you know. It's like as soon as you get a year, it's like, okay, so we know it's that, like the list you just read is like, we know it's one of these. Like that's how it is. Right. Which is weird that LSD's on there, but still.
All right, man. Kia NBA most valuable player. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Embiid, and Jokic.
Look at him right there. I'll just say it right now. I put money. I bet on Joel Embiid to win the MVP this year. I bet that way back in the summer. Jokic. Which means I had all the incentive to be like Embiid's the MVP all year because I had actual money on it. But Jokic took that thing.
Okay, since you're trying to say that, let's go back to that ridiculous comment you made the other day. Tell him what you said when you seen my post asking what does Jokic do better than Embiid.
Oh, he rebounds better. I don't know why. Like he averaged 2.1 more rebounds.
No, that's ridiculous, dude. Right? That is.
No, it's not. It's not ridiculous.
Embiid, do you know? Other than his rookie season, Embiid's worst rebounding season is Jokic's best before this year. And for you to say
again, hold on.
You don't give a shit. You averaged more rebounds this year.
You just said hold on, JC. The most important part of your sentence was a prepositional phrase that went a little something like "before this year." None of what you said matters because it's all about before.
So okay, let me ask you something. Is Embiid the best scorer in the league right now?
This year, yes, he is.
Maybe, yeah. I'm fine. Like, but again. I'll say anyone within 2 points of Embiid can talk to him, but unfortunately, Jokic averaged 2.1 more rebounds than Embiid. So.
You are being ridiculous.
2.1 is still like again. I would say we're splitting hairs if it was within 1. Like it is. It's just
one season. That's what the.
It's right now.
So why are you basing?
You're not automatically a better rebounder than this player. Everybody who's above Steph in scoring is not a better scorer than Steph.
We are talking about 2022, JC.
Thank you. We're talking about this year and this year only. We're not talking about previous years. We're not talking about rookie up to now.
I know that's not how it goes. Somebody asks you who's the best player, who's the best scorers. You go off of what you know, the numbers that you're thinking of, the accolades you're thinking of. You go off of all of that within these last couple years or whatever, and then that's what you go off of. You don't say, he averaged more of this, so he's better than that.
So the scoring title is handed from rookie season up to now, right? That's what you're telling me.
Right.
What, nigga? No, the scoring title is done every year.
You're saying, okay. I didn't understand your question. But whoever wins the scoring title, James Harden was averaging like 36 points a game. Nobody was saying he's a better scorer than Durant.
There was people.
They were definitely saying that. They definitely were saying that.
No logical basketball.
I can pull somebody up on this podcast, and they will sit up here.
It's a Houston fan, right?
No.
And thought Harden was a better scorer than Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
I haven't heard that much.
I've heard it from plenty of people, and
especially I thought that season he was averaging 35.
Yeah.
They were.
So what are we getting at? We're talking about this year. This year, Joel Embiid is the best scorer in the league. It is what it is.
And Jokic became the best. Jokic made a leap. Hey, the same way you're saying John Morant took a leap and is now a superstar, we're not going to say he's going to go back down to 18 points a game and that this year was some sort of outlier, are we? No, we're saying John Morant is this good now. Guess what? Nikola Jokic is now a guy who averages 13, 14 rebounds a game. Like, that's who he became. That's what he is.
No, that's not who he became.
He did it for 80 games, JC. He did a whole season.
That's he did one season.
That's who he is.
Talking about, bro.
That's a year. That's a year of existence.
And that's a
okay. So you admit John Morant. So John Morant's fake. It's just an outlier.
18 is a big difference. First of all,
so is 10 to 13.
13.
10 to 13 in rebounds. Yeah, it is. I don't know how you know how math works, but that's almost the same. like if you
almost the same.
If you double them, then that'd be like from 20 to 26. That's pretty close to 18 to 27 is whatever like Ja is. The difference is like.
So let me ask you something. Before this season, did you ever call Jokic a better rebounder than Embiid?
I would have called them same rebounders. Is probably what I would have said. They're the same
rebounders, even though Embiid's numbers were better in that regard.
I don't know how much they were better. Like, I mean, were they? I mean, let me see.
I just told you his worst rebounding year outside his rookie season was Jokic's like best. It was like 10.6 or something.
No, but you're again. Jokic has now averaged like Jokic has averaged like 11 rebounds for like the last few years. Guess what Embiid did last year? 10.6, 11.6. Jokic, Embiid has only had one standout rebounding year, and he averaged 13.7. And guess what Jokic is averaging this year on his standout year? More than Embiid ever did, 13.8. So it's like you keep bringing up the best, this, that, and the other. And it's like
Jokic 11 rebounds a year.
What?
Where did Jokic average 11 rebounds a year the last few years?
10.8. 10.8. Well, I'm talking shorthand, dude. 10.8 and 10.7, which is like right.
The last few years, he averaged 9.7 in 2019, 2020.
Yeah, when he only averaged
10 rebounds.
Yeah, but like, look at the whatchamacallit, rebound percentage. He didn't play that.
Oh much. Yeah. Go to your advanced stats.
That's not advanced stats. It's just
going
like
off a straight rebounding. He's never.
Hold on. This is now 2 years in a row that Jokic has
averaged 11 rebounds.
He doesn't round shit up.
Embiid averages 11 rebounds for his career.
Hey, JC, who averaged more rebounds last year?
If I'm not mistaken, Embiid did.
You are mistaken. So you're telling me 2 years in a row, Jokic has out-rebounded Embiid, and you are still clinging to 3 years ago that he's a better rebounder.
10.8, 10 points.
Oh, so you're agreeing with me now? That
no! Don't round it up now, nigga. Don't round it up now.
You don't stop it.
So you're agreeing with me? So you're agreeing with me? No, you just agreed with me.
Jokic and Embiid are equal in rebounding. I don't agree with it, but I'll take that. But for you to say he's better than Embiid at rebounding, that's ridiculous.
No, it's not, because like you literally just said, you asked me what would I have said last year, and I would have said, I think they're about equal. And then we go look at it. Oh, Jokic actually averaged more rebounds, but I'm like, I'm acknowledging that Jokic only averaged 0.2.
And I just realized something.
Last
episode, you said the NBA is trying to push this foreign shit on us and stuff like that. Like Embiid isn't straight out of the heart of Africa, bro. Like. I didn't even realize that in the moment until I started watching the episode again today, and I was just like, Embiid is foreign. So what's your point?
Well, Embiid's not just foreign.
He's still more friendly for that foreign.
No, you're just trying to be like they like the white guy against the black guy. Which you don't even make it about that. No, because Embiid is like the poster child for NBA without orders. Embiid came from the actual
European versus Africa. Like, come on now.
They literally have an NBA Africa campaign going on right now. So why wouldn't
Embiid is from the NBA's, like he grew up going to their camps. Jokic is the guy that's from who knows, like just came out of nowhere. Like Embiid's the actual guy that they would want to push, and they have pushed. Like, I don't know what you're saying. Like he's like the model of like the Masai Ujiri like camps and like the Pascal Siakams, like all these guys that came through like the actual NBA camps. Like Jokic is the guy who just like, we don't know where the hell he came from.
Jokic was
let me ask you something, bro. This is really troubling my soul that you're saying.
I'm just glad that we're on record that Jokic has out-rebounded.
If we take Jokic and Embiid's career, right? Who would you say is a better career rebounder out of those two?
I would just say whoever's averaged more rebounds is. I mean, that's like
we're not talking about careers.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't understand why. Bro, why are you bringing up careers and we're talking about
because
this
you guys
year?
are going off of one season.
Oh, we're talking
Because
about
we're
now.
talking about this season. That's when the MVP is voted on.
When we talk about current shit, JC, we're talking about how they've played now and how they're going to play.
That doesn't make him a better rebounder, though. He just averaged more rebounds one season.
Two seasons.
Durant is not a better scorer than Steph Curry. Period.
Joel Embiid.
He's not a better scorer than Steph.
Joel Embiid has not out rebounded Jokic in 2 years. So you're going back to 2020, the last time.
10.8 and 10.6 is the same exact thing, bro.
More is more. I'm
not doing that with you.
More is more.
Same thing. Just like you tried to say, oh, he averaged less minutes when it was 33.5 and 33.8. That's the same split. You're trying to average rebounds. You're trying to round up rebounds, but you won't round up the fact that it's the same split.
I never know. I was speaking in general. When I was talking about rounding up rebounds, I just said they both average around 11. That's who they were. Embiid and Jokic are about around 11. And you even admitted, what's their career averages?
Just around last 11. Episode, you told me 0.9.
Jokic doesn't average. He doesn't average near 11. Like Embiid average over 11, by the way.
Hold on. Throw out Jokic's rookie year when he only played 20 minutes a game, which is stupid to like include that with your argument about like
for some reason played like 40, 50. Did he even play 50 games? He played like
the amount of games does not have to do with that has nothing to do with per game averages, JC. It's easier to average more rebounds than playing less total games. Like Jokic was a bench player, you forget. He came off the bench.
Okay, so in 2019, 2020, he averaged 9.7 rebounds. What's your excuse for that?
He had a bad rebound year. Who gives a shit? That's 1 year. Again, how about this, JC? You love careers. JC, shut up for a second. Take his last 6 years. I combine all of Jokic's last 6 years since he's been a starter in the NBA. 6 total years. You love totals so much. He has averaged exactly 11 rebounds a game in the last 6 years. There you go.
What are you basing that
on? Math?
You did the math on that?
Yes.
That's not matching. Embiid has averaged over 11 rebounds almost every season. So how does that make sense?
What did you say?
He averages over 11 rebounds, over 11 rebounds, maybe even more, because you'd be taking away his rookie season.
JC
said Jokic.
He said since he's been a starter in the league, Jokic has averaged 11 rebounds per game over those 6 seasons. That's what he said.
All I did was take out his rookie year. And you know what? I'll take out Embiid's rookie year since you want to do that. And now Embiid's at 11.7. So there you go. They're literally separated by 0.7, but that's their careers as a retrospective. Right now, Jokic has beat him 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row.
Your math is mathing up. That's what I'm saying.
I
don't have the time to do all of that right now, but your math isn't mathing up. If he's averaging 11 rebounds, 13.6, 11.6, 10.6, and 11.7, and you're telling me that's the same thing as 13.8, 10.8, 9.7, and 10. Like that doesn't even.
It literally is.
That's not what he said. That's not.
It's actually weird how similar they are.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
What did he say, Isaiah?
He said that all he said was take out Jokic's rookie year when he was not a starter, correct?
Yep.
And he averages 11 rebounds for his career per game, right?
Correct.
He said if you take out Embiid's rookie year, he averages 11.7 for his career per game.
Correct.
He said they are separated by 0.7.
And what I'm saying is I would have to do the math on that because he averages 11.4 right now. So that does not make sense.
Yes, it does, because I took out his rookie year where he averaged less. That's why he averaged 11.7.
It is a bigger jump than that.
What?
Jokic hasn't averaged 11 rebounds before.
He is right now. He just averaged 13.8.
Before this season, he never averaged 11 rebounds. So how did that turn into 11?
What is you keep? But before this is the season. This season happened. I counted this season. I'm sorry that I counted the basketball that's happened this season.
Embiid has a season like that too. So I don't.
Which is exactly why Embiid has 11.7. I don't know what you're confused about. You don't have to do the math yourself. I already did it. He already just explained it to you. Embiid has averaged 0.7 rebounds a game more in the past. His last 5 years versus Jokic's last 6 years. So Embiid is a slightly better rebounder across his career.
He's a better rebounder.
Not in 2 years, not in 3 years, not at this point.
Not in 3 years.
Jokic just averaged more rebounds than Embiid ever has.
He said not in 3 years. and he averaged 9.7 3 years ago. Do you hear yourself?
That's when Embiid was better. There you go. Exactly.
I just did the math as well. His math is correct. Like,
Embiid's a better rebounder. That's the math he did
for his career, but we're not talking about that. But we're not talking about that.
JC. Why do you keep bringing up entire careers when we're talking about MVP?
No, JC, I got a real question for you. JC.
I don't feel like because you average more than somebody for one season, that makes you better at that specific thing for
2 seasons.
Like in general.
Did you say in general?
Better at averaging that.
JC. Did we say in general? We said this year.
He said he's a better. Dubray said he's a better rebounder.
Because we exist in this year. What year is it? Is it last year? Is it the year before? It's this year. We exist now, JC. Like, again, John Morant. Is John Morant a 27 point per game scorer, or is he an 18 point game per score? You tell me. Are you still living in the past?
He's not a better scorer than Steph. And he averaged more.
What does Steph have to do with this?
Because he's saying Josh scored more than him.
Steph. You wouldn't say he's a better scorer than Steph right now.
He was a better scorer this year.
He was a more scorer. What's better? Because then you're talking about efficiency.
As y'all can see, y'all know who.
No, here's the difference. With rebounds, there is no efficiency. Scoring, you can do like he's better because he can stretch the floor or he makes free throws. Like there's a nuance and there's other percentages. Rebounds are just straight up. How many did you grab? That's it. That's what it is. The only other thing you can do is like rebound percentage, which you want to dig into that. They're both pretty damn good at it. I don't know. We'd have to look into that, but you wouldn't like that because that's advanced. Even if it said Embiid was good, because by the way, Embiid's really good at advanced stats too.
Yeah, because the basic numbers tell me that Embiid has been a better rebounder than Jokic every single year.
No, not every single year, because
this year.
In that absolute worst, they're equal at rebounds.
Absolute best, they're equal. In fact, they're at absolute best.
No, Jeff, let me handle this shit. Explain to me how the fuck he was a better rebounder this year if he averaged more rebounds than him.
I didn't say he was a better rebounder.
Nigga, you just said he was a never better rebounder than him any year. And this year, he out-rebounded his ass by over 2 rebounds. And you're going to have it sit up here and
Embiid been doing that. Embiid been doing that to him. Embiid been doing that. And y'all, I didn't hear y'all saying, "Oh, Embiid's just such a better rebounder." It is
because we were talking about this year, JC. Because we were talking about this year.
He's never been on Embiid's level at that time. Period.
No, because JC, here's the reason. Like the one time that Embiid rebounded as well as Jokic did this year was 2019. For some reason, you just think Embiid is still averaging 13 and a half a game. Like
he didn't average 13 and a half that game. What are you talking about?
I just told he averaged 13.7.
Not in 2019. That's not what I was referring to. I said Jokic averaged 9.7, and Embiid was still averaging over 11 like he did every other season. That was what I said.
I'm saying Embiid's standout year, the one that you think makes him so much better rebounder, is less than Jokic's just current standout year that's happening now. You for some reason are clinging to Embiid.
That was what made him a better rebounder. I said the fact that he averaged his worst rebounding year was like Jokic's best prior to this season. That's what I said.
Well, now it changed this year. I mean,
so we're in a new time. Like this shit done changed, bro. Like I don't understand why you keep bringing up past shit when it happened already.
Bro, I'm not delusional, bro. If Jokic keeps averaging 13 rebounds and Embiid averages 11, I would say Jokic is a better rebounder. You have to keep doing it.
You just said out your mouth that not 1 year has Jokic out-rebounded Embiid. That's what you just said. You just said it was not 1 year he's been a better rebounder than Embiid. When this year, he was quite literally a better rebounder than Embiid.
I was saying other than this season.
We didn't say he was a better rebounder for his career. We said he was a better rebounder this year, which is evident by the stats.
And again, if you're clinging to like the worst stuff, it's like, Embiid's worst season was 10.6 and Jokic was 9.7. So it's like you're still within a rebound. It's still 0.9 is like their worst. And their best is now Jokic is 0.1.
Here's the thing, though. I'm not even saying Embiid is clear-cut better rebounder than Jokic. I'm saying if you were to say, like, okay, like they're both equal at rebounding, I wouldn't have said a word to you if you would have said that.
Again,
you would have flat out tried to say, oh, better this, better that, better rebounder. It was like, what?
Well, like I said, JC, like I said, if you would have asked me a year ago, I would have said, even though Jokic is beating him at rebounds, I'd consider them the same because they both seem to average around 11. like, sure, Embiid had this weird outlier season 2 years ago where he averaged 13, but right now Embiid seems like he's settled into 11. Now this year happened, and now I have to react to the fact that Jokic became this guy that averages 14.
But you don't take that in consideration that Embiid has consistently averaged 11 every single year.
He hasn't been consistent. So is Embiid. Jokic has also been consistently a great rebounder.
Yeah, and you just said he had a 9.7 season. That's nowhere near 11.
Yeah, Embiid had a 10.6. That's literally a rebound away.
That's closer to 11 than 9.7. What are you talking about?
Oh my God, it's not.
That's way closer.
They're within a rebound of each other. That's what I'm saying. Like if he's not even an entire rebound better than him, and you're acting like it's the worst rebounding performance of all time. 9.7 and 10.6 are not that far away.
One rebound is a big difference, just like 2 rebounds is a big difference this season. Like, it's
okay.
the same thing.
My argument was that 2.1 is greater than 0.9. That was my argument, and I'm right.
My argument is that we are talking about this year. You keep bringing
we live in the now
careers, talking about some over his career. Embiid is a better. Nobody's debating you on that. By the numbers, Embiid is a better rebounder for your career. Is that what you want to hear?
Let's go back to what the original question was. What does Jokic do better than Embiid? That was what the original question was.
Better
he said
leader.
Rebound.
I said shooting, passing, rebounding. That's what I said.
I'm not even getting into all of that. You said rebound. We know he's by far better passer. You said rebounding. That's what I was addressing. That was what you said that I thought was ridiculous.
And by the way, it is ridiculous of you to think that a guy that averages more than 2 rebounds a game than another guy who you think is the MVP having his best year. It seems that Embiid can't rebound when he scores a lot, is what it seems like. He stops rebounding as much because he doesn't have the legs for it because he's too busy scoring, which means that's an endurance issue on him. He is not a better rebounder than Jokic because he just spent a year averaging.
And you still call Jokic a better scorer even with that explanation?
I didn't call him a better scorer. When did I say he was a better scorer?
Right,
I said shooter, my friend. Shooter. Shooter. I said shooting, rebounding, and passing is how I answered your question. If you asked me last year, if you just asked the simple question, what is Jokic better than Embiid? I just would have only said shooting and passing.
Even shooting can be argued.
It absolutely couldn't.
What?
It absolutely couldn't, but all right.
I'm pretty sure that's a bunch of advanced metrics.
It's not really advanced metrics. You can just look at percentages aren't advanced. You guys that don't understand math.
Jokic has better percentages than him every year. So stop it.
I didn't say about you, but probably but probably. They're pretty close in efficiency. Jokic is 2% better true shooting his career. There you go.
MVP.
Back-to-back MVP, and Jokic, especially his last couple years, is like next level efficiency.
That's my chin.
I forgot to even look at. I forgot we talked about.
I think the third, if I'm not mistaken, the third of the votes of the ballot are. It was overwhelmingly Jokic, what it looked like. So we'll see what happens with the rest. But it looks like some of the votes were leaked. Like I think 20 of them. Did you see that, dude? Right?
Yeah, people have been keeping track or whatever of.
Like something they said on Twitter and stuff like that.
Well, just because what's you gonna say when Jokic wins this MVP, huh? Is this one gonna be a fluke too?
Winning this MVP.
He's 100% winning this one.
Okay.
And again, I bet on Embiid. I wanted Embiid to have the narrative. The problem was just like Embiid kind of choked it when he got stuffed by Giannis and didn't get he needed a better seed. Embiid needed to take that one.
A better seed than who?
What he got.
Oh, okay. Because he had a better seed than Denver, for sure.
Well, who was his third best player? And would that third best player have been Jokic's best player?
All the time, they usually give
no.
player, best team.
No. It's
say what you said last week. Say what you said last week.
That spit don't matter.
Say what you said last week, talking about the turmoil Embiid had to go through. That bullshit. Come on, man.
The turmoil of playing with talent.
You said he went through all this turmoil with Ben Simmons.
Wait, Gilbert. So he didn't have to deal with a bunch of drama the first half of the season?
What do you mean deal with drama? He just got to play basketball.
Simmons every single post conference,
if you think getting asked questions in a post game interview about your teammate that's never going to play with you again and you don't like and it doesn't matter and there's never going to be
How does he know that at that time?
What do you mean? We all knew that. Because he said it. Ben Simmons said he was never playing for them again, and he was absolutely.
Does he have a choice? He had a 4-year contract.
We just saw him. Did he suit up? Did they want him to suit up? And did he? He did not.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he got fined for it too, and didn't get paid for the split. So you think he would keep that up for 4 years if Philly really played hardball? No.
You think Philly really would have played hardball? You think Philly really would have just sat on him for 4 years while Embiid's knees go? Embiid, you got to go now with Embiid. You can't just sit on that because of petty bullshit. If you think Embiid's
is laughing because I'm thinking about the grievance suit that Ben Simmons is like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he did that.
Like, bro, get your ass out of here, bro. Unless Philly legit did not provide you with resources, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. You're a fucking clown.
Oh my God, this dude had us dying last week with that.
He did take my mental health. Get the fuck out of here, bro. After Kevin Love made the what is it called? Players Tribune journal writing that he made. Like, bro, you think the NBA could really afford to have a situation like that where they actually have a team not caring about a player's mental health just a couple years removed from that Tribune writing? Like, come on, bro, tighten up.
Also, he's already been different with his new team. It's like clearly the mental health thing was like, we get it. You guys broke up because you're sad that Doc Rivers and Embiid threw you under the bus publicly. Cool. Like, but that doesn't mean you get your money back because you don't want to show up to work. Like, they're allowed to criticize you. You can say, because you guys did that, I'm going to leave and demand a trade. Good for you, but you ain't getting your money back for not showing up to work.
It's just the fact that they said if you report to a psychiatrist or whomever to help you with said problems that you have, we will pay you. And what did he choose not to do? Not do it.
And listen to what Dubray just said too. Like I said last week, Philly was nicer than I would have been. And it sounds like Dubray's on the same type of time. We know the real reason why you didn't come to work. But even then, they still said, okay, we'll provide you with something. We'll they were nicer than most of us would have been.
Yeah, they played ball, like you said, they did the right thing. Like, okay.
I would have told that motherfucker, go pick up a basketball and start shooting, bitch. Because you fucking won't shoot the basketball. Are you dead ass coming in my office asking for your funds and you won't play? Get the fuck out of my office.
Remember, he came to practice with his cell phone in his sweatpants. Remember? Like, remember, he reported in the summer. He was practicing with his cell phone in his sweatpants. Right. Like, sorry, dude, you don't get paid for that.
Exactly. And Doc sent his ass home, rightfully so. I would have sent his ass home too.
Because that's a creepy talk. Because he was just being weird, just like, okay, I have to show up here, and now I'm just gonna be a zombie and run through jails, like not talking to anyone, being a weirdo. Like, this is just weird, dude. Like, we'll get rid of you as soon as we can.
All right, so we'll be back to NBA stuff when we come back for the we'll do like a second round preview or whatever once we get the results of this. I do want to talk about one football thing. So, y'all seen what happened, right? When Baker said, I want to go to the coach, and the coach was like, yeah, we good. Like, no, but basically nobody wants him. So there was a report that the Panthers were like the most likely to, be able to swing Baker.
Oh yeah. Robbie Anderson was like, please no.
So now, unless they get rid of Anderson, he probably didn't have that up too. So I was like, what's y'all thoughts on that as of right now? Like,
I would say if I'm a receiver, I wouldn't say shit just because of the way NFL contracts work and the way they care about quarterbacks, particularly white ones. Like, I'd be like, I love Robbie Anderson. I love Robbie Anderson. In the NBA, you could totally do that. But like, if the Panthers do want him, like, they can get rid of
Baker over him.
What?
You think that they'll choose Baker over him if they really?
I don't see why anyone would choose Baker now at all.
Like he said, if they liked him enough, they damn well would. But I mean, like he just said, I don't see why.
Are you guys saying Anderson isn't good enough to voice his?
Oh no, not even.
Positions are important in that sport, man. You can't wide receivers. You can get sent packing. Like, quarterbacks are the thing.
He's a certain caliber to be able to open your mouth like that, and he's not.
Yeah. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like Baker's not like a big shot, whatever, but it's like he still if you are thought of as a starting quarterback in the NFL, you can't really badmouth them if you're not like a wide receiver one that like is like
yeah, Anderson's not a wide receiver one.
I mean, like one of them ones, like the same way, like
he's only had one season over 1,000 yards.
Well, it's like like calling Robbie Anderson and like a wide receiver one is like calling what the Detroit quarterback QB1. What's your boy Goff? Goff's a QB1 too. He's a starting quarterback. Goff's a starting quarterback. That's a QB1, buddy.
Yeah, like Robbie Anderson does not, or Robbie Anderson, however you pronounce his name. He only has one season over 1,000 yards. Like you have to be on like Cooper Cup.
Hey man, Christian Kirk got 21 million off of that.
It was blasphemous. Like Jacksonville's wild.
Yeah, he got 21 million. And did he talk bad about his quarterback? Well, it's not his quarterback, but any quarterback. He kept his mouth shut and took that money. Again, I think it's funny that Robbie said that, and I don't blame him. But like, I'd just be worried if my team really did.
Basically said I'd rather have Sam Darnold or Cam Newton.
No, I would straight up rather roll the dice with Baker than those two guys.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Cam's done. Bro. Like,
yeah, Cam. It's over with Cam.
I love Cam, bro, but like he's pretty much done.
Can't throw it.
Yeah, I hate that he was so good those first few.
Yeah, his shoulders just fucked. His whole body's just fucked up.
He can't throw the ball.
Yeah,
you got to throw the ball to play quarterback. He can't throw it. I mean, he screwed up his shoulder. That's what I mean. He used to be. I'm not saying he could never obviously he was never like a Tom Brady accurate guy. He was physical, but he could make throws. Like he can't make throws anymore. Like he used to be able to. Like eventually you can't.
Real quick question about narrative. Isn't it crazy how people look at Lamar as just like the super running QB, probably like non-accurate, and from the numbers they say he's like one of the most accurate QBs, for the time that he played.
Nah, I don't think that's true. If he's accurate, it's got to be short passes. He's a running quarterback. Come on. Like I love Lamar and I want him to win to shove it in a lot of people's faces. But if you do look at the numbers, I don't know what numbers you're talking about accuracy, but
it's also Lamar also has the problem of he doesn't have that great of receivers who get much.
Yeah, like as soon as they got him, their whole scheme has been like we have a running quarterback. They've kind of schemed around him being a runner, so it's like he might be able to throw. I mean, we've seen him make some throws. We've really seen him make throws, but like I bet if he has good accuracy, it's got to be short passes. I'm assuming he's made a bunch of dink and dump. I don't think he has great accuracy, 30 yards.
I'm going off eye tests. That's all the numbers.
No, I'm saying I don't believe what you haven't brought up them numbers. I don't think he's the most efficient quarterback in the league. I don't think that's true.
I mean, because like he says, like even though I despise both these teams, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, like they make throws like you're like, damn, how the hell did he fit it in there? In a sense, like, you know what I'm saying? And Lamar really hasn't gotten to that point. Not saying he can't, not saying he won't, but it's just like he said, the Ravens offense is predicated like, if not 100%, damn well 90% on the run. Like, and the 50 of it, like I'll say probably like 50, 60 of it is Lamar. Like, so.
Yeah, the threat, they so scared of what he, might do running, they can't like,
I mean, you seen it, hell, it's like a Madden game playing with Lamar, like in real life, like dead ass, like you can't, it's hard to guard him running, like.
Yeah, he's just like hike it, and he's like, "Oh, I might fake pass it, or I might just run around you. Like, I could be gone in a second."
Yeah. Hey, Dubre, you haven't been here in a minute, man. One last thing, football related. Last time you were here, you weren't too optimistic about like a Super Bowl season or anything like that, considering where the team was.
Oh, yeah, the Ravens.
What has changed since you've been here, sir? So I just want to hear your thoughts and where.
It's the NFL. You can always just make a random run, but no, I'm still not like betting on the Raiders. Why would I ever do that? I mean, we still like Carr is still
because your boy right here and the other Raider fan that comes on the show all the time, they're both saying AFC Championship or bust, and they yelled at all of us who thought differently. So,
no, I yelled. Hold on. I yelled at you for sitting up here saying the Chargers are better with that bullshit.
What did he say?
He said the Chargers y'all aren't better than the Chargers.
The Chargers are better than the Raiders.
Fuck that. No.
I'm actually fine with you thinking that. I think we'll be better than the Chargers, but I'm that
Who's gonna make playoffs?
this division's rough, man. I don't know what to say about it, to be honest. It's ridiculous. I don't know what to say. I would feel way better about us doing all kinds of things if I didn't feel like this division was overstacked, because it's just like someone's gonna get hurt and just like have a worse season than we think. You know, it's like just because the numbers have to, the amount of times they have to play each other. I could be wrong, and they could all beat up on each other. They're all like barely over 500, but it just seems like someone's gonna have to crash and burn. I don't know who it's gonna be, but watch Derek Carr tear his ACL. Huh?
What's your thoughts on Denver?
I mean, they've been needing a quarterback and they got one, right? We have to see with Russell Wilson if he's back to that guy again, because he hasn't been that good. But I mean, they're supposed to be, like the football experts have been saying for years, they have great defense in place, good lines, and they just haven't found a quarterback, and now they have one. So it's like, I mean, they're all, everyone's supposed to be good, right? It's like,
yeah, I would definitely say.
And Isaiah, by the way, Gilmore's gone. He's at the coach.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
Yeah, he said we in the podcast. Actually, he said it like way.
Yeah. I wish we could have got him, but hey, they didn't have money and stuff. That's more so what I'm concerned about is the defensive side of the ball in the old line. Like
that line, man, that line.
That line, oh gosh, something's got to happen.
Like, like Daryl came here and said though, the Bengals had a historically trash line and they still made the.
But how? Like
also remember the Bengals. But also remember, like the Bengals almost like sure they made the Super Bowl, great run, we love Joe, blah blah blah. They almost lost to the Raiders in the wild card game. Like, like it was razor thin. Like if they lose to the Raiders, then all we're saying is like, yeah, they just couldn't do it because they didn't have enough.
I guess this is what I'm saying. It's possible. It can be done. It's not like
but we don't have Joe Burrow.
It can be done. It's
we
just
don't have Joe Burrow. Yeah, and also Joe Burrow. You got to remember, not only Joe Burrow talent, his contract. Joe Burrow gets paid peanuts because he's on a rookie deal, and that's like the valuable thing right now is you get a good quarterback on a rookie deal, you can make a run the way the Seahawks did when Wilson was on it, the way Mahomes, they just pounced on Mahomes, they got their Super Bowl. Like if you get a young quarterback, you got to make your move. For the Raiders fans, we've been paying Derek Carr top 5 money for 5 years now, like I like Derek, but he's never given us a discount. So and right now Joe Burrow, that's discount. And Chase too. Their number one receiver is cheap as hell too. So the Bengals have to use all that money on an O-line to protect them and then eventually pay them. The Raiders are in the situation where it's like our big money guys are our receiver and our quarterback, and we have to just hope we find some cheap young linemen or something. Like we need to protect them somehow.
Brings me to the next question of
what draft top.
The draft. You guys
talk to that boy. This is not me. I don't. You tell me. Tell me we draft people good. Give us a good draft grade. Get us linemen. Tell me we're gonna be good.
I haven't really gotten that far deep into because we don't have a pick to round 3, round 4, around there.
That's a big reason why it's like who cares?
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely find some people. They got a tackle from Tennessee who I'm liking. He looked like he could develop into something good. It's just really you got to hope Leatherwood makes that same leap that Colton Miller did. You know what I'm saying, from year 1 to year 2. Because Colton Miller was fucking trash at the beginning of his career, that first year. But there's no more Tom Cable coaching the O-line, which is good. That's fucking great. That's an overstatement. Yeah, they're just gonna have to do their due diligence in these later rounds.
And like you said, they only have a few. I just checked. They just have a 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th or whatever. Like that's it.
Ziegler wants to trade back in.
No, I'm wrong. They don't even have a 6. They have a just 4 picks, just a 3, 4, 5, and a 6. Huh?
What happened to all y'all picks?
We trade them for Devontae.
Yeah, so I say that's how we got Devontae.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fair trade.
You want quality, you got to pay for that.
Oh yeah, so I'm not mad that they traded picks for Devontae. I'm not mad at all. Especially it was just the first year and second rounder.
Well, also we've been shitty on the early picks, anyways.
Yeah,
it's like we've been messing up first and second round.
I wasn't even fucking worried about it.
Yeah, so it's like if we're good at 3rd and 4th rounders, hell, let's trade our 1st and 2nds for Devontae Adams. It's like we don't have to draft that. We know he's good.
They got like that kid from Tennessee. I'm hoping that they draft him. I think it's their right tackle out of Tennessee. I can't remember what his name was. I was looking at mock draft stuff earlier today.
That's it. I'm glad that they're looking at. Well, mocks are saying looking at a tackle or whatever. But it is funny for us three to be talking about the NFL draft because our teams aren't the
ones. Especially JC, y'all don't have a pick until like what?
So silent. Like I don't got a damn thing to say.
We are not three guys invested in the draft at all. We are sitting back waiting for the contracts to hit and see training camp. You know,
yeah. Hopefully, Tyrann can wait around till June 1st. You know what I'm saying?
Man, F y'all. We need a safety. All right.
Fuck y'all. The Avengers over there with all the Infinity Stones and shit.
Yeah, you had enough. That's enough.
Calm down. What the hell?
No one's ever stacked the deck like that in football.
Ain't no
No one's unprecedented amount of picks traded for all of that. Like you had Aaron Donald, and then it's like, you know what? Let's get
at least we drafted that though. That's different.
No, but I'm saying you had him, but you were like, he wasn't enough. The best guy that's ever played that position wasn't enough in his prime. It was like, let's get Von Miller, who's won a Super Bowl MVP.
And also traded for Jalen Ramsey earlier.
Yeah, when we already had the best corner, like it was like, let's also get the other best corner in the game.
Is the best corner.
At one point he was
at the time, when they got him.
He was kind of close to it at one point.
Well, and also just the defense in general the secondary was good. Yeah. And they're like, when you already had a good secondary and you're like, what if we got Jalen Ramsey? And then like, oh, let's get ODB for fun, Odell Beckham. Let's just throw that in there.
All right, so I want to do a podcast field trip. Rams and Raiders.
Okay.
Better be in Vegas, baby.
No, I think it is.
It's what?
I think it is so far. But it's gonna be all Raiders fans there anyway. What are y'all talking about?
You're damn right.
It's gonna be 10 Rams fans there. I'm gonna be one of them.
I do love the dichotomy that at least with football, you're like a Clippers fan. I do like that, because you have that edge too. You're like, my fans won't be there, and I'll be one of the few, like the proud. And then with the Lakers, it's like Laker Nation, like we are overwhelming.
If y'all would have seen me at that Niners game, that overtime game, last game of the season, like I promise you, I did not feel like I was in LA. Like every which away corner, a Niner fans coming up to me, screaming here, screaming there. I'm like, I was so noticeable because I was the only Rams fan in a good section going crazy, and it's all these Niner fans around me. I got video footage of it. Like
that's so fun.
Red in there, like that was crazy. So I can imagine a Raiders game. I don't think we've had one yet.
Yeah, because at least the Raiders played in LA. It's like San Francisco never even played in LA, but they still, they're a famous team, and obviously the Rams are.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of Cali people probably converted to Niners when we didn't have a team.
But they're also just one of those teams that just people like them from all over. Like Steelers fans, Cowboys fans. It's just like it doesn't even matter. Like so many NFL teams, it's like even with me, it's like my dad was in Oakland when but I got Raiders fandom from my dad, so it's just like like people just stick to something. And the Niners were like Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, like that went a long way, and people just being Niners fans for life. But like you said, also like California, at least people can talk themselves in. It's like, well, I'm not gonna like when the LA teams, or even when they're young, when there wasn't LA teams. It's like LA didn't have a team for all those years.
I never had a team. I can admit it. I never had a football team because
you just adopted the Rams when they came back.
There was nobody to choose from. And as soon as the Rams came back, I was like, there we go.
Yeah. If
the Chargers would have came first, I probably would have been a Chargers fan. I'm sure Isaiah can appreciate that I didn't do that. But whoever would have came, I didn't care who would have came. Whoever would have came, that would have been my team.
That's cool. That's cool that you embraced it.
I bought a Rams beanie literally the same day that they announced they were coming.
That's cool. You committed to them.
So yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
We ain't got no baseball.
Not today, only because we didn't.
Don't want to talk no baseball when my Dodgers are playing good.
We should have only talked about the NBA playoffs. Screw all these other sports.
We really didn't even do a lot of football. It was really just supposed to be our preview because we didn't implement it last time. So I just wanted to knock this out. That's why we did a show so quick from the last one. And on the next one, it'll be less rounds and everything. We can get all that in. But from what Dubray's saying, he don't care anyway. It's all basketball right now, and I'm with it.
Well, like I said, us three, we don't have high picks, but like you said, it's like we can talk, like we'll talk about the draft way when we're doing NFL preview stuff, and we can recap everything.
We got all summer to talk about all that stuff. Y'all got 200 games in baseball, man. Relax.
And also, look how long we went. Look how long we went. We only talked about NBA. You know, this is NBA season. Let's go.
Right.
That's fair.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. As I said, we're on all directories now, all grind sports on Apple Music, Spotify, all that, YouTube. I'll have all of our Instagram names at the bottom, so where you can go hit us up, you know, chime in as you guys been doing and talk y'all spit to us about Dubray and Isaiah's bad takes and all of that good stuff. And
bad takes. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna throw shade to get off.
Appreciate my brothers pulling up. Hopefully the next time I see y'all, they announce MVP. And yeah, that's it.
Yep. All right, we'll talk to you later, man. Eminem is always still trash.
We got a game on. Let's go watch some NBA right now.
Let's go watch the game and watch it right now. And before we go, shout out to my boy Travis McConicle. I got his jersey on. He playing overseas.
Yeah, I was wondering who that was. I was like, is that a Milwaukee jersey?
No. That's my boy Travis McConicle, man. The Lakers need to get my boy on a 10-day, man. He over there averaging 30 points, 10 rebounds, and like 10 assists, man. He having a triple-double over there in Finland, man. Get my boy on a 10-day. Real quick also, who you guys got tonight? Hawks Heat. Game 2, who you got? Heat.
I think Trae Young is gonna bounce back though. I think he's gonna, have his.
Is he gonna bounce back this game or game 3?
You said what?
Game 3. I got game.
Is he gonna bounce back this game or is he gonna bounce back game 3?
He's gonna play good, but he's still gonna lose tonight. Game 3, he's gonna win now.
All right, Timberwolves Grizzlies. Do you think the Grizzlies answer back at home? I assume they do.
They better.
They got to.
They got to. They better, because if they don't, it's gonna get real ugly.
And then Suns Pelicans. I assume we just think the Suns are gonna take care of business.
Yeah.
All right, Pelicans.
I think the Pelicans will take game 4, like on some
gentleman sweep. Nice.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got to get at least one,
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, guys.
All right, y'all.
All right, holla at y'all later. Peace.